Welcome back, one and all, for Dreamworks Dungeons and Dragons. Woo! I'm your Dungeon Master, August Schmidt, and I'm so excited. As always, we have our wonderful members of the Peacekeepers with us. How are we feeling tonight, Peacekeepers?
Ready to throw down.
I don't know what's going on.
Indeed, we have stuff to actually. Speaking of, because welcome back, Elle.
Right.
So happy, right?
Well, because I remembered that you haven't been here, but I forgot that we also wrote Adora out, and that means that we're catching up with that whole storyline now that you're here.
Yeah, there's a couple things we're gonna catch up with. But of course, the big stuff also to catch up is last we saw you guys. Crazy stuff, honestly. You made your way through Underway down to Underlondon, passing through the Grand Channel of Waterfalls in the Water Walker. You met strange creatures like the giant whales known as bellins that seem to swim through the waterfalls, as well as land sharks, gross amalgamations of horses, badgers, and sharks that seem to swim and attack in the Underdark. Hey, when wizards get bored, they make weird stuff. You guys did make it down into Underlondon. You found a small alleyway, and under Dax's guidance of, hey, no one's gonna really care if we interrogate and rough up this dude, you guys got some pretty intense information out of this orc assassin, learning that actually his uncle is a orc named by the name of Cloudrin. Cloudrin is a high-ranking member, it seems, of Black Sun, who is one of these high generals that work directly with what we know as Pitch, thanks to, again, Adora's vision/dream, but Pitch in the body of a Hordak clone is leading Black Sun with all these other crazy members involved. The least of which being the seventh deadly sin, Lust, the spider goddess, Lolth. Again, in Dremore, goddess is a pretty open term. While she is technically immortal, it may be more of that elf situation of she's very powerful and very immortal. She may not actually truly have what we know as divine immortality.
Would she be about on par with Miguel Tulio, technically godhood?
Probably higher than what we would call Miguel and Tulio. While she does have an intense following, she is still a daughter of some of the darkest devils and demons of the Abyss, is kind of what we know of. So it's not it's slightly different than what we would call canon lore of Lolth. But again, still a terrifying person to deal with. But again,
She's a little baby.
She is a Nepo baby of the Hells. Yeah, it's she's not great. But again, she has a huge following. She is the goddess of the Underdark for most people. So Lolth, Lust, Cloudrin, and you also saw a Lord Gregor, the financier of Black Sun. But it seems that Black Sun really wants you guys taken care of. They're sending a lot of people after you. As you are sitting here now in the Underdark, we enter back into our session. And again, we will be introducing Adora here in just a second. But as you guys are finishing up, again, Minarith has been doing some intense detect thoughts to kind of grab the pieces of information and the items. Dax, you are holding this sending stone, very shattered. You don't think it's, you might be able to get it to work. But again, it's one of those, they might already know that this assassin was captured, right? Even though he is a powerful assassin and they specifically chose him to kill these members of the parties, he's not what's the word I want to use, big named enough maybe to come after. So you've got the shattered sending stone, you've got the whipwright dagger, which I will say, depending on who wants to keep it, it is in D&D Beyond. So you will be able, whipwright of course being WHIPRIGHT, whipwright, but all one word. It's a pretty interesting dagger that you took from him. You also found a lot of the poisons, which I think Minarith was holding on to for now. Yeah, he had a lot of these crazy poisons that apparently are really good when creatures are asleep. They're meant to really just auto-kill creatures when they're asleep before you even get into a fight.
I do love that Lonnie gets to have the poisons. She's devious.
It's true. Lonnie is devious. Minrith is too kind-hearted. I don't think Minrith would ever want to use them, but Lonnie is gonna find a way to use them.
Have the idea, and we're gonna make it work.
Oh yeah. So you've got all these items. You've got this assassin tied up, who I will also say, given what was a really funny, like, oops, we kept forgetting to interrogate him, you did learn the longer these creatures are in the cubes, the longer they're in this horrifying purgatory state of both death and life, that the people in the cubes both aren't alive or dead and are simply stuck. And so this dude was more than happy to reveal a lot of secrets after spending weeks in a cube. So what I will ask is, as we jump in, so like Dax, Gingy, Valka, you're there with Minrith Stoic, you've got this guy surrounded, tied up, and you are here in Underlondon, right? I mean, there are still a lot of different rat folk, drow, Duragar, a couple of different deep gnomes, even a higher population of what we would call grung, frog and toad people that are moving in and out through the city, every so often passing by this alleyway, though no one seems to care because it's a pretty common occurrence to rough people up in alleyways. What are you guys wanting to do right now, either with this assassin or maybe to ask any last questions of him?
I think we got as much as we can hope to get out of him, especially following Valka's blood ritual, where she was able to spy on the meeting.
I was gonna say, that was kind of like squeezing the last drops for me. There was nothing else on my list.
Grim Psychometry truly is one of the craziest abilities, especially when you get in that 20. It kind of feels cool.
Amazing.
It feels good. What I will then say is, with this assassin, you know that Wilson is his name. You know you could do a couple things with him. The easiest of which being, this is a dangerous man who was, while yes, he was coerced at a young age by his uncle to join the Black Sun cult, he is still
enjoyed it.
Right. He is still a highly dangerous assassin who does enjoy murder and killing. And I
was going to say, Minrith was in that boy's mind and there was zero remorse.
He doesn't really have remorse for being an assassin.
No morals.
Well, an assassin for a dangerous cult that it's like, oh, your goal, it seems, is to conquer and subjugate people. That's not great morally. You could kill this dude, which sounds terrifying, but you are in an alleyway. No one's probably going to care. But there's something to be said of, do you want to offer mercy? Do you want to try to offer maybe another path? Or a third option, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this guy.
I do wish Lonnie were here for this, actually, because I'm coming down hard on the side of, like, we just kill him now, but Lonnie would make this great argument, I'm sure, for, like, an alternative. I'm missing that of the roleplay aspect, especially coming from Minrith.
I'll make a roll for Minrith. Minrith will offer this on a nat 2. Well, where do you want to put the body? On a nat 2, I think Minrith is done as well. Kind of like with you guys. We got all the information. This is a dangerous person. So what are we going to do with him?
Well, I mean...
Dax being back in the Underdark is also like, yeah, we can just drop him.
I mean, the alleyway is here anyway.
Just do, whoa, okay, wait. And you see this orc again holds up through his bindings. You don't have to kill me. I can disappear. I've got friends out past the frozen wastes. I could just, other side of the world, you never see me again. You don't have to kill me.
Is Mirror still...
What's to stop you from coming back and betraying us later? Or killing any of our other friends and other people that are defenseless.
You see Wilson full stops. Okay, you bring up a really good point. I don't know. Whatever you want. What can I offer you? I don't listen. I don't want to die. I'm going to be completely honest. And I will say, Minarith will message you guys again. She's got the deep detect thoughts up. So
right?
Minarith will kind of message you, and you hear Minarith go, he is a coward. She goes, I think he truly would offer anything to stay alive. To the extent of he would never betray his uncle or Black Sun, but this dude is willing to offer up anything, and probably really means it if it means no death.
Does Minarith happen to have Geas?
Let me check real quick.
That's 5th level.
Yes, there we go. Because I was like, I know you guys have powerful spells now, but Minarith doesn't have 5th level yet. That, I believe... Wait, hold on. Right, Minarith...
Also, what level is everyone at right now?
Yeah, what level is everyone at? Let's go around real quick.
We're only 9. Okay.
Level 9, yeah. So, Adora, what level are you at right now? Should I know your...
So I'm gonna level up.
Level 8. Yes, because the party did take a month downtime, which you will get... Again, Adora got to level 9 by, like, adventuring solo. So go ahead and level up Adora to level 9. Minarith does not have... No, Minarith should be at level 9. Because, again, we were going to give her Gabriel, but those just bad rolls. So here we go. I'm going to say... What can Minarith do? Because she is that, like, sorcerer, so she's got a lot of crazy spells. Because she has a 5th level spell slot.
Has it been long enough she could do her swapping spell?
That's what I'm double checking, is I don't know if it's been long enough where she can do her augur ability, the Omen Reader.
Because I would say my whole thing is like,
that's what I was kind of
He
wondering.
would, like, agree to anything in this moment, but that doesn't mean he would keep to it. But Gas kind of like takes care of that at least.
I will say, because it's a great idea. I will allow this. We will use a fated spell work. Like, the privilege of a DM is I will allow Gias without, like, overriding Lonnie's then ability if she chooses Minarith to do spells. She will fated spell work. So you see, she pulls out her tarot cards, flips through, and sits there with Wilson for a moment, slowly flipping over card after card. And you will watch as she is casting Gias, just very slowly, like, reading his fortune and letting Wilson kind of, like, slowly become entranced. So he'll make a wisdom saving throw. That fails the DC. While charmed, will take this. I believe Gias lasts for so long. Yeah, 30 days. Cool. While issuing any command short of an activity that result in death. So, Minarith will give the command. You will leave, and you will head to your friends across the world in the frozen wastes. You will not contact any member of the Black Sun, and you will ignore any summons or sendings or messages of any kind from the Black Sun. After 30 days, you will continue to live a peaceful life, and if we ever hear that you've ever appeared to any of the Chosen ever again, we will personally hunt you down and kill you. And you see Wilson, that last part sticks it for this assassin. He goes, done. Like, that final, like, we'll hunt you down. You guys are scary to him. He is scared. So you see, Wilson, this orc is already trying to stand up against the bindings again, kind of hunched over as his arms and legs are bound. As he goes, okay, yes, ma'am. I will head out. Here, and you watch Minarith nods, seems, so she helps cut the ropes, and this dude immediately is like, thank you, and sprints as fast as he can down the alleyway, and you know, he is, on pain of taking a lot of psychic damage, he's gone. He's very much gone. In this moment, you are all here in the sewers, and this is where we will reintroduce Adora. Because as you're all sitting here watching, Minarith will give a bit of a, I think someone's teleporting in closer, and all of you watch as Adora steps through a portal that was kindly created by Gabriel to help you out here, Adora.
Oh, my buddy's working overtime today.
Gabriel is working overtime, which we'll get to in a second. Adora, you step out. Go ahead. Tell us, what was your level up did you take for your class?
I continue in fighter.
Yeah.
Which means I got Indomitable.
Oh,
So
nice.
A saving throw. Yep. I fail a saving throw, I can re-roll, but then I have to take the new roll.
Awesome. That's super cool. Yeah, Indomitable is such a fun skill for fighters. So, Adora, you step forward, and all of you see, Adora, full plate mail of Ilvanor, singular eye patch, the sword of protection strapped across your back. Yeah, you guys all got a level up by resting. Adora has got it through fighting off minor enemies, doing a lot of scouting. And we're going to jump in. I did realize I was going to send you this doc, and I realized how confusing it might be because it's my notes. So we're going to just briefly do like this flashback of Adora explaining what happened to her, and then we'll jump into what you guys want to tell Adora about your circumstance. As we watch, when Adora left, Bo, Glimmer, and Adora took a solo mission down to the nation of Syracuse. It was only a week or so travel along the Great Road. They moved fast and quietly. When they got close, what Adora saw, and what's really crazy, is Syracuse is a military state right now. Men of all ages are conscripted into their armies at a moment's notice, as young as 14 and as old as 70, right? Like, they are just forcing an army to become this military force, training rigorously. It seems that King Proteus, who is what Adora would have found, in the past, Proteus actually was a really decent guy, but Proteus has turned harsh and cruel. The biggest rumor is, again, Proteus's betrothed left him for a pirate, and Proteus never really bounced back, it sounds like. To the point of the Mediterranean used to be the 12 kingdoms. There were these like 12 minor kingdoms around, and it is all now just one conglomerate known as Syracuse. So the Cyresian forces have an impressive naval force, military standings. They've worked through, and some other great stuff. Adora, it's a little bit luck-based, but go ahead. Can you roll me just a quick investigation check for like any like more in-depth stuff you could have found?
Can I use my in-person dice?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you need to use in-person dice, I always understand, because sometimes D&D Beyond will get slow, sometimes it's just... Well, and the vice versa is true. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's just so much easier if you have, like, big dice to roll for some hit or attack. It's whatever's comfy.
However many Smite Dice Mason was rolling the other night.
Yeah, right?
Sorry, what check?
Investigation.
Okay. That is going to be a 17.
A 17. So, Adora, you, Bo, and Glimmer made it pretty far into Syracuse. The only problem being the closest you got in was the palace itself. Now, Syracuse, or the capital of Syracuse, was just one city, one kingdom, and so the now nation is both the city and the nation. So Syracuse sits, if you know the movie, it's this cool palace and city kind of on top of this cliffside out in the Mediterranean. Beautiful stuff. It means it's the best defense on land and sea. Because by sea, you've got this giant cliff that like you have to dock and do all these switchbacks up that are just hard to invade in. As well as on land, they've just constructed giant walls. Again, Glimmer, being a magical teleporter, got you really close. But you're noticing, or what Adora you would have found, is the Cyresian forces are extra militant and vigilant. So not only was it like there are patrols coming. To put it in D&D terms, every other round there was at least one patrol passing by, which is just really tough, even with great spellcasters like Bow and Glimmer to get you around, because Glimmer can teleport in and out really fast, but it really was that, like, she would teleport in and you would have like a split second to like view the area before she was using like either a held action or Misty Step to immediately get you out again. And so it's kind of that odd level of, you know, it's heavily protected, and you could assume that wherever they're keeping the Ethereans is in the capital. What you saw was underground, and from maybe some further scryings and stuff you have access to, is that the Ethereans were somewhere underground and wet. So it's that, like, hey, this base cliff city, it like might have some giant room underneath, but you're noting that, like, until you either, and I think it's that twofold, Adora, if you jump back in with the Peacekeepers, you know that they're very powerfully magical. Yeah, Glimmer's amazing in terms of teleportation, but like Dax and Minareth just have access to insane spells. Gingy as a cleric is just so in tune with the divine, and Valka and Stoic are great hitters like yourself, right? That's a good strike force. Like you were doing the like secret Black Ops stuff, but it's like, okay, now we might need a SEAL Team 6 if we were to really do some damage. On a 17 also, you know that it might not be impossible to invade. Now that's a very tough question because that's talking military force, but Syresia, Syracuse is not in a good place. Syracuse conquered all the other 11 kingdoms who are not happy about this. They're not jonesing to sign up for army work, and there's a lot of contention to the fact of, on a 17, you would have heard that a couple weeks ago someone bought 17,000 Syresian soldiers as a mercenary military force, and a lot of these people deserted quick. And these weren't just like random soldiers, like higher lieutenants, captains, and generals who all said, yeah, we'll get paid and just dip. But that's kind of all you get, Adora. And feel free to either ask or even just improv up other information that you want to like have learned to share with the party.
I feel like Adora sorry, relays that information, and then also is kind of in a weird way is still like on edge, even though now she knows she's safe with her friends. It's not that she isn't safe with Bow and Glimmer, but like you said, it was like a special ops, and going from that to then what, it's been a month of this?
A month, yeah.
Yeah. So Dora's like, and that's just what's happening over there. We could invade, but I don't want to put anyone else's lives on the line, and I want to bring this up to this is Eleanor just absolutely messing up the name. The Queen of Eleanor and
Rayhan.
Rayhan.
Yep.
Up to Rayhan, and if she thinks it would be wise or not if we went that route, and you can see she's having like a really hard time, like she's kind of like bouncing on one foot and then the other, like back and forth, and I'm like, that's it, that's the whole, what's been up with you guys, as she now visibly realizes she's trying to hold herself still.
Does Adora need a hug?
Well, we've mostly just been traveling through the Underdark to get here. Let's see. We've learned a lot more about the Black Sun, and, well, things don't look good. But hey, we're here, we're back home. Well, I'm back home, but we have a couple of leads to go for. We finished interrogating this guy, and we just have a lot of other questions to answer here.
Here's a question. Adora
Right, that was very general and generic and not very helpful.
Here's the question.
I think it is, though, that for Dax, it's that like, well, yeah, we've been traveling, we're here now, we have stuff. It's not like, yep, that's us. Sorry, yeah.
Because Adora hasn't been here. So remember, last session there was some stuff that from my vision I couldn't get just because it was in a different language. Do I know if Adora speaks that language?
From what stuff? Sorry.
The stuff that I heard that I couldn't understand from last session that was like the unit of measurement or whatever, like, would that be something, if I could like mimic what that sounded like, is that something Adora would recognize?
Here's what we're gonna say, because this is recent. I know for us it's like technically this was 2 weeks ago. Is you're going off of what you learned on a Nat 20. I'm gonna say give me a performance check.
Okay.
And Adora will give me an insight check to, like, can you mimic the voice for Adora to then say, like, do I recognize the language?
Can I get any sort of advantage on this, or do I just have to go for it?
I don't think there's any advantage because this was your Grim Psychometry. It really was just you. I think it's the Nat 20 that makes it possible, so it is that, like, still possible check.
That's not going to be great. That's an 11.
An 11? Okay, Adora, what did you get for your insight? What was that?
I got a 12.
Okay.
About the same.
About the same. Well, and so I think it's Valka. You try to, like, okay, he said one and you're like trying to mimic that. Like, it was a very like forward sounding consonant with that like ooh sound in it. And Adora, you know it's like another race's language. And it's just like when you first heard that term back on the ship, when you were in that dream, Adora, seeing Horde Prime, where it's like 3 somethings of time, and so it's like it's so close. But
because I know theoretically we could try and like do the math of like when did Adora overhear that to when we got this, but like we tried that last session and none of us could correctly do that math.
I think we're missing a couple of key
variables.
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-variable equation.
Yes, Adora.
I mean, also, Adora's conscience is a little bit more eased now, because it wasn't 3 days, it wasn't 3 weeks, it's now been a month. And so, like a month and a little more.
It's been a month and a little more, and so I will say, again, a month and a little more since the message, but Valka, whatever Valka saw, was saying 1 something left. So I will let you know, because again, it's odd when I can see the numbers in front of me and go, oh, it's so simple. It's something where for all of you mentally can go, right, it's not an even measurement of time for us right now, because our... the best you could call it 6 weeks, or maybe a better term is like 40 days, is somehow their 3 something. So it's like they're 3, and then this one again. Grim Psychometry doesn't give you a timetable, so it's like this could have been like, as far as you know, a bunch of weeks ago when he got the knife, or earlier, because again, it's you don't know.
Sorry, genuinely, then I don't know. I got a 10 with a +2, but...
Hey, it's alright, just thought I'd ask.
No, it's good asking. We need to try and figure this stuff out. I just feel bad that I can't give more results to you guys.
It's alright, it's not all on you.
I know. Just trying to pull my weight. So...
You've more than pulled your weight, Adora.
Really?
People say that, and I still don't believe it sometimes. And I'm learning to know that me and Bo and Glimmer had like a long talk. There's this thing that's like, okay, and you see she backs up. Now, DM, if I can't make this joke, you let me know. But well, it's like apparently there's this thing that's really taken off in the New World called therapy. That it's like you talk to a professional that like got a degree in taking care of people. In like they studied in people. I don't know.
I will say that's not new. That's just been around everywhere.
Although I was gonna make a joke about therapy for Vikings being hitting things.
I think the thing is, Adora, there's just no technical canonical therapists in Etheria.
Because you live in an apocalyptic hellscape.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, everyone's like, yeah, therapy? And yeah, it's like, yeah, so then how do they make the brain better? Is it like what spells do they use?
Can I like...
I'd like to think that while we were gone, Bo got like actual therapy from like an Ilvanor psychiatrist.
Oh, not at all, because again, you've been on the road for a month and a half.
Oh yeah, we have. Never mind.
And also, just because I realized I didn't clarify, Bo and Glimmer actually are back in Ilvanor, because again, they're reporting back to the other council princess, and it's that like, let's get ready for that joint, like, hey Dora, these are your friends, if you want to go gather them, we're gonna head to the other like royals of our planet.
What I was wondering, so that way then, yes, Queen Rohan can get that information about potentially going in. Yeah, no, Adora's so, interrogating a guy. What for? Black Sun?
Yeah, I think we kind of gave you all that information, because that was also why I was asking about the, like, time measurement, like, so all the info we got from that was, it's all in the Discord of, like, who's involved with that, like, top tier, and, like, what the attack schedule's gonna be, basically.
Okay.
And wasn't there something also about, like, Pitch noticed me listening or something?
Yes. Pitch may have noticed you even with Grim Psychometry. You're not sure to what extent?
He's just got weird eldritch crap that he can do, and I don't love it, but I love it meta-wise, but I don't love it for, like, the character. Does that make sense? The
character hates it. The player, it's like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
No, we've all been there.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, that's a fun mechanic. But also, it's that, like,
it's a fun mechanic.
My character is not enthused about this
cool.
fun mechanic.
Yeah. So, I will say, you've got this info, and again, it's that you could strike team it down, but you could also try to just, what's the word I want to use? Strong arm it, right? You know, march down to Syracuse, excuse me. The kingdom is Syracuse. They're called Syresians because of the nomenclature. Okay. Syracuse is technically, like, you could invade, like, that would be war. And you are talking about, like, a queen who comes from a kingdom that canonically really does not go to war. They've just made their first steps to defend, like true defense, but there's a difference. What I will also say is, but again, with what Adora has given you all, this is still a matter of you are in Underlondon. And Dax is still holding baby Ben, you know, in this big old carrier on him. And you know Fen is somewhere in the city. Like, that was also one of the big reasons to first come here was it's a joint effort of eventually talking to Toad, figuring out some more stuff, and finding fake Fen here. So, do you guys want to try to, like, jump into that yet? Or do you want to, like, maybe consider reaching out to Queen Rayhan?
I think... Sorry, I think for me, just as a player, quick, I think it would be beneficial to like write down all of the different quests and things that we need to get done. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if everybody else just has a solid like know everything we're trying to do. I kind of forgot about the Toad's connections to the crystal until now, because that's also something we needed to do.
I remembered we kept talking about Toad, but I forgot that like we had any firm objective about him. My thing was like we're here to figure out where Fen is. Like that was what I thought our objective was here.
Here's what we can do. Let's go through. Does someone want to be our scribe then for the party real quick and write down like we'll go through and I'll help as a DM and talk about your guys' objectives and we'll go one by one. We'll try not to like go too fast or like skip anything. But yeah, who wants to write this down?
I can write stuff down quick.
All right, then let's go through. I think the first thing, and we're gonna go by like geographical question of. Or geographical quest is right now in Underlondon. The two bigger things you wanted to do was find Fen and learn more about the Toad's connection to the Ethereum crystals. You know he has them. Like he, if it could have been ambiguous, but it was very clear in my opinion of. Oh, in this vision, the Toad found them whenever Etheria pulled through, and he is holding on to them.
You're right. That I'm remembering that part now.
Next, kind of slowly moving outwards, is we do hit Underway again because in Far, Far Away, eventually it's stopping by and talking to the Muffin Man. Is Gingy got that vision? You know that Uriel is safe back in his shop now that he doesn't have Valka's grace to hold on to. He is actually a little bit more static in terms of where he is. So there is visiting him. Continuing to kind of circle outward, right, expanding our radius, there is the nation of Syracuse, because there is the effort of trying to figure out how to free the Ethereum people from Syracuse, and of course just taking care of it. Right, it's a military state.
Yep.
At this point, I think we've pinged back towards Ilvanor, where a important thing is to, and I use Ilvanor when I say try to help the princesses of power return to Etheria, because they are. Stuck there again. It's and that kind of that subheading is space travel, right? Like on this planet where you guys know at one point Enoch did stuff, but Enoch, just to help not only maybe preserve timelines but just secrets, didn't want to tell you guys his arc or his ship's mechanics, just in case it fell into the wrong hands. But it's got to exist somewhere. Like there's maybe somewhere you could look up that stuff or try to find it. Also in Ilvanor, you know that there is the matter of the Apisoids, that they are somewhere in the Underdark, but from Ilvanor, and that the Apisoids have gone dark, no pun intended. And so it's like, it's not helpful that they're missing, especially after they were being very hostile. But you do know it seems to be something maybe related to Black Sun, right? It seems like they got some of those early premonitions. Continue our little radius outward. The next actual area we hit is China. From what we know with Shen and just in general, is eventually heading to China to understand what's going on down there, right? Like get a better understanding of maybe Shen and his family situation and who's ruling China right now. There have been reports from other parties that K-Pa has been his body has been destroyed and he was sent back to the abyss, but he may not be permanently dead. But for now, there seems to be allied persons in China that are protecting it, so that could be something very important. And finally, our furthest ring outward, at least for now, is Valka and Stoic just in terms of heading back to Burke, trying to figure out more stuff there, just helping the Vikings, or just in general. It sounds like the Viking Draconic War was stopped by two of the parties, each acting on their own fronts, but now there's a lot of that cleanup or stuff to learn and understand, especially with Valka's new dragon, right? Maybe learning a little bit more about the dragon and what's going on there.
Fantastic.
Oh, yes, Adora, I think it's the thing, Adora, you slowly, when you guys are, talking, and we'll say it's you guys are each sharing this, Adora, you look up, and hanging upside down from this bridge is a giant owl-like dragon, its head fully 180 around, big, squarish pupil eyes, staring right at you, just...
And you see, Adora's Ankylosaurus is just making sounds and pointing upward, asking for...
The dragon is friendly, I believe. Is with Valka.
Blame my son.
Yeah?
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, Adora, hey, weirder stuff has happened. So that's kind of... I know, that's all. Only that. But that is the quest, or the things that your party knows about and could take actions about.
Thank you. I just needed to collect everything. There was so much happening.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I will say, it's not just your party too. Every party has these crazy things happening that it does get a lot. There's so many quote-unquote problems in the world that should be solved.
So here's maybe my thought for order of operations. I say Fen is top of the list because we're here, and then I think London is close to far away, right? So do we want to while we're in the area do the whole Muffin Man stop by thing, and then we can plan on going back to Ilvanor? Plus we've got the sending stones if we need to talk to Rayhen at any point.
Yeah, we can talk to Rayhen pretty much when we will with the sending stone.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe just deal with what's in the area first, and then figure out, coordinate with Rayhen what we want to do about Syracuse. Save the planning that for when we then are having time to get to it.
I think that's a great plan. Start find Fen, and then go from there with Syracuse.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah, totally. Hypothetically, do you guys, if we happen to hypothetically, I don't know, go somewhere, can we, have a sit-down meal, please? I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Yes. I think it is, it's that, oh, and by the way, real food, because Adora, Bo, and Glimmer have been doing that, all right, we're roughing in the wilds, everyone gather around for your daily dose of jerky and berries, and it's that, oh gee, I'm so glad that I'm technically not dying. Cool. Well, this, again, it's a solid plan, straightforward, it's stuff you guys know. What I would ask for the party then is, if you are here and looking around, let's go ahead and take a quick look at a cat first and appreciate the cat. It's a good cat. But you guys are under London. If you want, we could make checks to start just looking for Shen. It's odd to state we're gonna call this a group investigation check, but just to start heading around. Maybe.
Do we all feel comfy looking for Shen right now? Just because we haven't rested up after the land sharks or anything, so making sure everybody's happy with where they're at.
I mean, if Adora is looking for food, Dax is going to recommend a great restaurant that he saw on occasion, but now he has money. Says their pea soup is pretty good. You gotta eat it before it eats you, right? So.
I love it. Dax, its name is known as Purple Toadstool. The Purple Toadstool restaurant is a grill and pub kind of combo. You guys head over. You walk in. You see that this rat folk running the bar, kind of a female rat folk. She looks up at you. All right, dearies, welcome to the Purple Toadstool. What can I get you?
Heard about that pea soup.
Ah,
Look,
excellent.
it's pea soup all the way around.
You see, she goes, wonderful. She pulls out a stack of paper. Just sign here.
What does the paper say?
Oh, it's just simple stuff, dearie. Simply that you can't sue me when the pea soup eats you.
I think Moko looks at Dax and goes, what?
Even when you kind of lean over it, I kind of thought it was metaphorical, but
I thought you had a
I'm
joke.
sure it's fine. Dax is going to sign away. He's going to quickly read through and make sure he's not selling his soul.
Yes, yeah.
If
Yeah.
you
And-
fucking Wonka us.
Dax, go ahead and just quickly give me, we're going to call this just an insight. Just a quick insight as you rip through the paper. Again, it's not a lot. Like, you see that when I say stack of papers, it's the same single piece, just thousands. Again, anyone who comes through. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what Dax gets doing that, like, lawyer quick read through of the book, or the paper.
That's a 4. Dax has never actually been to a restaurant.
I was gonna say, Dex, it is that, like, hey, we have a really famous, delicious pea soup. It is under the consumer. Once we buy it, what you do with the pea soup is your own. We hold no legal counsel. So you're like, oh yeah, like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna, like, get you. Like, oh no, we're, like, screwed forever. It's just more that, like, hey,
The soup could eat us.
it's something where it's like, hey, we have a challenge food. We have a lot of people through, and,
It's this very upfront waiver.
if you take the challenge and don't win, like, you can't get mad at us.
We gotta, right? Because now I'm hooked. I'm curious. I'm invested now.
We should at least only get one, so we all focus on that soup.
You see, should go, would you like a party soup bowl, or would you like individual bowls?
I guess the party bowl?
Focus on one, so a party ball.
All right, a party bowl. A party bowl does feed about 8 people. And so she does that quick check, because, yeah, you do have Swiftwind and Cloudjumper. So she goes, all right, you've got some crazy pets. They could probably eat a bite or two. All right, a party bowl it is. Right, this way. And she's going to lead you through this pub and grill. You see she's going, you've got your weapons, right, do you, dearies?
Are we gonna need them?
Excellent. You see, all of you sign the waiver. She brings you over. It looks like one of those, like, bigger sitting rooms. And inside, you see a giant pot. Like, just a big old...
Did you have this planned, or are you improvising just because Tice said the bit?
You will never know until after the session. But what I need is, as you all walk in, there is a bubbling, liquid emerald green pot of soup, split pea soup. It has that strong garlicky pepper scent in the air, like very hearty and filling, especially in the Underdark. You just take warmth wherever you can. And so smelling it immediately smells horrifyingly sweet, just so delicious and savory. And I need everyone to roll initiative. As you hear, as she locks the door behind you, eat it before it eats you! As the door magically seals behind you, and we enter initiative.
So you can
Six,
roll,
20.
you just don't want
All right. Did anyone get 20 or higher? All right, Adora. Sorry, what'd you get?
Synth 20.
Synthetic 20. Thank you so much. Did anyone get 15s or higher? All right. 10 or higher?
I got a 14.
13.
And a 13 for Gingy. All right, you'll love to see it. Velka, what'd you get? 7. Stoic has advantage.
Yeah!
That's a
okay.
nat 20 from Stoic.
Yes!
Oh,
You'll love to see it.
I'm married to that man.
Minarith got an 18.
But do I roll separately for Cloudjumper, or does he go on my turn?
Cloudjumper acts on your initiative. With the mounted combatant and this beast companion, it will always go on your initiative. Same with Swiftwind, Adora, for you. here we go. As you watch, the bowl in front of you starts to moan. And within a moment, you are face to face with a bowl where there is teeth made out of corn chips, eyes, these large blinking whole peas, emerald green, blink, blink, that kind of like squish to blink. The cauldron, one of the legs kind of elongates into an arm, the other one joins into an arm, and so the cauldron's feet becomes these two little arms, and you are looking at the largest bowl of split pea soup mimic.
Oh, we're eating a mimic.
You're eating a mimic.
That's fun.
It's a split pea soup mimic, and you ordered the party size, so this is not a normal mimic. So here we go, gang. I'm gonna send this through to the Discord just so everyone can see the initiative here. Stoic is first to act on the nat 20. So you see he looks at you all and just goes, are we supposed to fight it, or are we just supposed to start taking bites?
I'm pretty sure it's a meal. We're supposed to eat it.
He says, right, well, most of my best meals have been not moving when I ate it, so he's gonna pull out an axe and just attack the side of the cauldron. So here we go. First attack, that is a 21 and a synthetic 16. He hits both times. You see Stoic deals a good amount of damage into the mimic, who just gives that high-pitched squeal as the soup kind of bubbles and pops and those whistling steam sounds escape. When he hits the cauldron, you see it cuts into, like, softer iron, and bits of soup kind of drain out. And so you see Stoic just, right, and takes his bonus action and kind of drinks some of it.
Alright.
That's Stoic's turn. That is Adora next up with Minarith on deck. Adora, what do you want to do?
I guess I'll attack it a couple times.
Cool, go for it.
I'm gonna use Eternia instead of Sword of Protection because I feel like maybe I shouldn't use a holy weapon on a soup.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make my first attack on D&D Beyond, and as it rolls, I'm going to quickly check how many actions I get. I get 2 attacks per.
Yes, you do.
Does a 21 hit?
A 21 does hit the split pea soup mimic.
Great. I'm gonna roll that damage real quick. And then I'm going to roll physically the other attack. Does a 13 hit?
A 13 barely hits, as this is a huge creature. It's a big old possum. It's huge, and so it's pretty easy to hit. So you hit as well. Go ahead and roll that next bit of damage there.
Yeah, because the first damage is 11 points.
Solid.
And the second damage is 8.
Okay.
It's going to be 19 points. Nope, I lied. I forgot to add in the... So, together, it's an 11 and a 14, so that makes it a 25.
25. You see, you kind of do as much as Stoic does, right? Like, again, you're both bigger fighters. So you duck and roll. Swiftwind kind of like flies up just to start like getting ready to offer advantage if needs be to anyone. You stab into it. Yeah, your sword passes through the cauldron and soup starts dribbling out. Do you have a bonus action if you want to try eating some?
I'll try eating some. I'll even invite Swiftwind in the house.
You see Swiftwind's like, hey, Adora, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
Weirdly sentient. You're
One in Underlondon, you know?
He says, yeah, when in Underlondon, I'm good. As this, your steed just flies out. You know, like, if you ever need advantage, he's gonna offer it and do all that. Right now, he's good. Adora...
Hypothetically, is there a bowl near me on the table?
There are bowls, but you'll actually look.
Cool.
Stoic is just kind of that guy to like straight up drink it like one would like a big water fountain. You can grab like a nearby bowl and use your bonus action to start filling your bowl.
Yeah, because then I'll even like offer like I got it in a bowl.
You stab into a sentient creature as it bubbles and screams, and you hold up the bowl and go, Swiftfoot, I got some soup. And you see Swiftfoot go, I'm good. You realize he's not saying I'm good to be rude. It's the only thing he can probably say without puking. As Swiftfoot is horrified by the idea of eating sentient soup. But hey, that's just Swiftwind. Adora, at the end of your turn, amazing stuff. Minarith is going to go like, okay, well, let's make it easier to eat, I guess. She's going to cast Slow on the Mimic.
Yes, her signature move.
Her signature. And you see, again, the red and pink and blue lights. Again, the lunar energies whip around her. The Mimic, she's going to use an Augur point to actually offer it disadvantage. She kind of wants it to fail. There we go. On Synthetic 6, you see that boom, 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 boom. The bubbles are like suspended in time, and exploding, casting little specks. You see inside the soup now much more clearly. There's like carrots and potatoes, little bits of ground sausage. Like, it's a very hearty split pea soup. Like, you're noticing like, oh, this is gonna fill you up. But it is now slowed, meaning its AC is lowered. It can only take really one action, which is going to help so much. And Minarith will then just be like, okay, if someone wants to fill me a bowl, I don't want to get near it yet. And she's just gonna hang back. At the end of Minarith's turn, that is Dax's turn.
Great. Okay. I think I'm just going to use an Eldritch Blast to kind of push it into the corner where we can corner it and then eat.
Eat. Go ahead. Roll your Eldritch Blast. You've got the two beams, which are incredible.
It was a natural 20.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. You love to see it.
Hey. Oh, okay, that's fine. So, natural 20 damage just comes out to then 13 for the first one. Sorry, 12 for the first one.
Okay.
And then the second to hit is a 21, which I think hits.
21 still hits, yeah.
Yep. And then that's another 8 points of damage, so a total of 20.
Another 8 points damage. You watch, Dax, I want to eat this soup before it eats me. You square up, and as the slow happens, Adora and Stoic stabs perfectly position it, and you see that weak point right underneath one of the big cauldron arms, and your knitting needle spark, and golden light shoots, and it's like a soldering iron. Sparks fly as you just sever one of the pot legs off, and there is now a perfect little spigot it's a hole that Stoic slams a straight spigot into. And he goes, right, that's good thinking there, Dax. And you see he then like turns the spigot and soup pours out. And again, I should point out, it's like a hefty spigot because it's chunky soup. It's chunky split pea soup. It's a thick spigot. And so, Dax, you blows up. It's looking horrifyingly hurt. You see this thing is hefty, but you guys have been dealing a lot of damage.
Right, so if there's a bowl nearby, I'll grab one for me, one for Minarith as well.
Awesome.
Start filling them up, and I'll tell Bart to start going for it too.
Dax, I'll let you know, as a bonus action, you can only get soup either for yourself or Minarith. It's a bonus action to fill the bowl right now.
Good point. I'll just do it for me.
Gotcha. So you rush up, turn the spigot, and bunch of split pea soup fills the bowl, and it does smell really good. Excellent, Dax. What was that, Dora?
I kind of want to do a funny thing, but I want to know if Rebecca would be okay with it, because it's an audio bite that does swear. But I think It would be very funny, so it's up to you.
What's the audio bite? What are you talking about?
It's the Heathic audio bite.
Oh. I know what you're talking about. You can play it if you want to. I just don't know. It's okay. Your choice.
So yes or no, Rebecca?
What is it?
It's an audio clip of a really funny thing.
That is applicable to our D&D campaign, but it's fair, so I want to know it.
It's fine.
Okay.
Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy.
So yeah, Dax destroys the cauldron and this thick old soup comes out. Sure.
Thanks for humoring me.
What a strange thing. Adora is just giggling in the corner to herself with her soup bowl. Gingy, that actually does bring it to your turn. I will let you know the soup is on deck. Actually, it's in the cauldron, but...
I thought you said the cauldron broke.
So Gingy's actually just gonna cast Aura of Purity, because this doesn't seem like the cleanest restaurant ever.
That's clever.
And so the, like, food inspector in him is like, so just in case.
So, Gingy, I think the Aura of Purity is the whole, like, very, like, little rags come out of their own and start scrubbing down the walls, like, tablecloths get folded out and thrown down and gently placed. Yeah, that's, an amazing... Oh, hold on.
Gingy's a little bit of a germaphobe.
Each non-hostile creature can't become diseased, resistant to poison damage, has advantage on saving throws against effects that cause blind, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned.
Incredible.
That's insanely cool. Man, Aura Purity. You love to see it. Gingy casts Aura Purity, and yeah, preps the restaurant. Gingy, do you want to fill a bowl for yourself yet of soup, or are you gonna wait until maybe the creature is lower?
I might wait until the creature's a little bit more dead and a little small.
Gotcha. No worries. Well, that brings us to the soup's turn. As the split pea soup is in its soup form, I quickly need a... Now, okay, that's not affected by slow. Okay, double head checking. I do need Stoic and Adora to make quick dexterity saving throws. Because Dax, you used Eldritch Blast, and Minrith used a... oh, excuse me. Dax, you did fill a bowl. So, Dax, you're going to make a dexterity saving throw as well.
Okay.
And let me roll for Stoic. It's something he can see, so he has advantage as Barbarian. Nat 13 both times for a 13. Okay. Dax, what did you get?
Sorry, it's pulled out. Okay, sorry, dex save.
Yeah.
I'm getting us Indomitable.
I just saw Adora save. Yeah, Adora got to 2.
Okay, that is an 11.
An 11, alright.
Good soup, guys.
It's good soup. Here we go. Adora, waiting on that roll to finish. This dice roll break is brought to you by Split Pea Soup. Eat it before it eats you. That's a 5. Adora, no! So, Adora, Stoic, and Dax, as you touch the creature to get your soup, even filling the bowl, this soup is viscous and technically sentient, and you feel edges of the soup as it sloshes over the bowls down the spigot wrap around Adora's arms and legs. Dax, one grabs hold of your bicep. Stoic gets like full torso wrap as you are all technically grappled by the soup. which is not something that is affected by slow. I double checked that. That is technically just one of its traits. Ability checks. Okay. Cool. You all are adhered to the soup right now. You will probably have to make one of your ability checks to get out of it. And I will let you know, your checks will have disadvantage because this is thick pea soup. It is very thick and hard to get out of. The creature has only one turn, which is crazy because it has truly an insane amount of multi-attack and can, according to Slow, only do one. Slow is amazing. Can't make more than one melee or ranged attack. So it is going to try and engulf one of you three. So that's, here we go. Stoic, Adora, Dax will go in that order. Stoic is going to become excuse me. The soup engulfs all creatures it has grappled.
Oh.
All of you watch, indeed. So Gingy, Minrith, and Valka, the three party members are suddenly whipped back in and just fall boom, 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 into the cauldron. Adora, Dax, Stoic, you cannot breathe. You are now restrained, and you are technically no longer grappled. But you now have total cover from all attacks and other effects outside the soup. And you know you'll start taking fire damage from how hot it is inside the soup right now.
Gotcha.
But now... I will let you know, it will take a full action to try to escape, though, the soup now. But it is flat. It is not advantaged with that grapple. Dang. So instead of hitting, like, basically everyone, it just goes and pulls you all inside. That's the soup's turn. That's all it can do as it begins to eat you. That is Valka with Cloud Jumper finishing up the initiative order.
Is the soup afraid of me?
The soup does have to make a check. It's a charisma save.
I think it's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save DC of
14, I believe.
Interesting. The soup did roll a natural 1, so it is afraid of you. And it makes the save on its next turns at the end of its next turns. So yeah, it starts its turn, immediately has the fear effect, and boom, Valka's got it.
So how does them being inside the soup but having full cover affect? Say if I wanted Cloud Jumper to use his breath weapon, would that be bad for them, or would
that's great. No, full cover is they can't take attacks.
Awesome. So I might have and also the Ranger page that you gave me says if Cloud Jumper takes any of his actions, it's taking the place of one of my attacks. Is that how that works?
Yes, if you want to jump around, it's kind of that Cloud Jumper can either do that kind of basic help actions or other things, but if you want him to use a big attacks, it swaps in one of yours.
I think it's worth it for his breath weapon because it's disgusting.
Go ahead. I'm going to read out Cloud Jumper's breath weapon while you start rolling it. Cloud Jumper, as a Stormcutter, has a Fire Cyclone, recharge of 6. The dragon will exhale fire in a 60-foot cone, and each creature in the area has to make a dexterity saving throw of 13 or take 6d8 fire damage on a failed save. That is great.
28.
28. And I will let you know, the soup has a -1 to its dex and got a natural 7. So the soup takes 28 points of damage. I'm now going to make a pure luck roll. I'm going to say you want higher than 11 to have a good effect. It's a 19. The soup does not boil, which may have increased the fire damage for the people on the inside, as Cloud Jumper very carefully just It's more that, like, instead of hitting the cauldron, the fire cyclone hits just the top of the soup and just evaporates the first couple, like, feet of soup in there. The rest of you are not going to take extra damage at the start of its turn next.
Excellent. So then I do get my second attack.
Yes, your second attack.
And we haven't gotten any short rests or anything, so I think my Crimson Right is still active. On
Yeah, correct. Because that doesn't go
that's
away.
until you short rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will take that attack really quickly. Oh, do I have advantage or not? Because I should from Cloud Jumper, but only if they're smaller than Cloud Jumper. But also between the slow and the frightened and everything else, like, is something giving me advantage?
So
or,
I
like...
don't believe anything's giving you advantage
Okay.
because this is a huge pot. Cloud Jumper is only large, and the slowed is only making it a -2 penalty. And on its dex save. Oh, so that natural 7 was a natural 4 because it minuses its dex, has no reactions, so it is still a flat roll for
And the
now.
frightened also doesn't give advantage or anything?
I believe, actually, let me double check.
Sorry, I'm making you check all the things.
Hey,
Very technical
conditions are very wild in 5e. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Interesting. Yeah, so it doesn't give you advantage, but this thing has disadvantage on any of its attacks.
That's a 14.
A 14 hits.
Alright.
Again, Adora figured out that a 13 is the armor class. It's just a very soft iron cauldron, right? It's not like cast iron skillet level strength.
Weapon fighting. Thank goodness.
Great weapon fighting. Yep, reroll.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. The soup is looking truly scalded and broken, as it is just not happening. As the boiling pot spills over, Valka stabs into it. Valka, I will say, as you cut in, you feel your sword catch a little bit on the soup, and know on its turn it might be able to grapple you.
But with flyby, can't we just leave?
Flyby means it can't take opportunity attack. It's like the... So yes, you fly by, you rush away, and let alone with slow, it can't take reactions anyway. The soup strand is still stuck onto your sword. There is like a mozzarella cheese string from your sword to the pot.
Can I use my bonus action to get it off?
Yes, you may.
Is this a check or like an offhand attack? Or
It
what am I
is
doing
a
here?
check. I will let you know. All you need to do is beat a quick DC 15, either acrobatics or athletics.
I will make that athletics. That is 17.
So you realize, and again, it's something that like you only know because the other party members got it. So you realize that your mozzarella cheese string of soup on your sword, and you just whip and cut it off so that it doesn't rip you into the soup. Not today. That is you and Cloud Jumper's turn. We are back to the top of the order. Stoic's inside the soup. He's gonna make a check to get out. Cool. Stoic, boom, bounds out, lands on the ground. It was his full action though. So Stoic is outside the soup. Adora, Swift Wind. You hear somewhere. And you, Swift Wind is going to offer you the help action if you want to take the action to jump out of the soup. Oh, you're muted. Yeah, but yes, you will have advantage.
What check is that?
It is athletics or acrobatics. Oh, excuse me. No. It's a strength saving throw.
Okay. But with advantage.
Yes. All right. And we'll get that in a second. No worries. I think I'm just going to resolve because Minareth is next. Because Adora, we're waiting on your roll. Minareth is going to... what is Minareth going to do? I think Minareth is going to just give Dax the help action prepping here to try to get out. Because it is that, like, you guys got just drug in. It's that, like, oh no, we weren't ready for this. So Yeah, Minrith is going to rush towards the pot, careful not to touch it, but simply like offer up the edge of her hand just above the surface to try to grab Dax. Adora, do you have your roll ready?
28.
28. So yes, Adora, you reach up and find purchase on the hoof, and as you're getting pulled out, Dax, that's you. If you want to make the same strength saving throw with advantage thanks to Minrith helping you.
He's gonna need it.
Gotcha.
So that is an 18 on advantage. Thank you.
18 succeeds. All the party members are out of the split piece. Boom, boom, boom. And I will say, the aura of purity is still going on from Gigi. So as you're leaving the soup, you notice not only are your clothes just kind of like auto-cleaning themselves, the soup is like expelling bits of grime that got it. Again, the like self-cleaning aura from Gingy here.
I'm so glad.
I mean, so using my bonus action, can I still just, like... I assume I had my bowl when I went in. Can I still just, like, scoop some out as I come and start eating?
Yes, you may. You grab your bowl with you. Dax, you take a bite. Oh my goodness, is it good. It's like, okay, it's one of those, like, is this worth it? We're dying for soup. And you take that first bite. It just... creamy, soft... The bits of sausage melt in. It's got that little bit of like rosemary garlic aftertaste, and you're like, oh my gosh. And just such a hearty vegetable soup. It's really good.
Yep. I will convey this to the party.
So all you just see Dax rip out of the pot. Dax's skin, while normally very like that drow blackened, is like pulsing pink from just being so boiled in there, and yet Dax is saying it's good.
All right.
Worth it.
It's worth it. Gingy, that is your turn. Gingy, so you have Aura of Purity on, but what else do you want to do, Gingy?
Hot bloodied or
Oh, very bloodied. The word I'm having fun describing it as it is scalded and broken, as in it is split. Pea soup. But yes, it is bloodied.
I was gonna guiding bolt it.
Excellent. What level guiding bolt? Right. Yeah, so, with Guiding Bolt, just roll a hit. Let's see how much damage it deals. Or if you hit.
20.
23. Oh, you love to see it. Gingy, your friends are all ripped out of the pot, and you just glow holy, crystalline, sugary light. It smells amazing in here, right? This hearty soup with like light sugary cookie scents of ginger and sugar. Boom! Your holy light stretches out from your frosting, erupts across the cauldron, and just chars. It's like burnt sugar hitting the hot cauldron, and it just breaks apart the iron. Go ahead. How much damage was that?
24 points of damage.
24 points of damage. The split pea soup looks horrifyingly broken and busted up. You don't think it can survive another round. And the split pea soup kind of knows that. Because as the soup, it is its turn. I'm going to make 2 rolls that I completely forgot to make last time. 2 wisdom saves against slow and frightened. So here we go. Here's slowed. Fails. Here's frightened. Fails. Yikes. It does not look great. It is and like backing into a corner trying to avoid you all. It is glowing too. Again, Gingy's sugary light is just pulsating off of it. Nothing is subjected to its adhesive. Therefore, nothing is grappled. So it's just going to try to attack. I think right now the closest people are Adora on Swiftwind's there. Dax and Minrith also just got out, and Gingy still a little bit.
Yeah, Dax is close.
It'll try to attack Dax just as you're pulled out. It has I don't think it has... Oh, no, it has disadvantage because it's frightened.
Nice.
Oh. Okay, I will let you know, it saved you from a nat 20. I'm going to roll again. It does have a +8 to this attack. Jeez Louise. That's a 17 on the die, +8 for 25. So it's going to get a bite out. Dax, 14 points of fire damage as a tongue made of softened carrot whips around your leg and grasps you. You are now subjected to that adhesive trait as it just sticks onto your leg. But again, Dax, you're still pretty fine on hit points. Absorbed elements.
I'm going to use my reaction to absorb elements, so that's reduced by half.
Solid. So, yeah, you only take 7 points. You watch... Yeah, so, Dax, and I think it is, Dax, you're eating it. So it whips around your leg, and you just as fast as you can with the spoon, just shovel it into your mouth.
Bart, go.
Bart, yes, good. Eat soup. And your little spider runs down, and just starts shoveling it into his tiny little mouth. You see Bart will be hot. And Bart scalded his tiny little spider mandibles on this hot soup.
He's adorable.
He's adorable. I'm normally never the biggest fan of spiders. I would die for Bart. I would. That is the soup's turn. Valka, that's you at the end of the initiative. Again, thanks to Gingy, the soup, you have advantage on the soup if you were to take an attack. And it is looking horrifyingly bloodied, broken, and split.
So if we fly back down to the soup, what mechanic is it to let Cloudjumper eat some of the soup? Is that instead of his multi-attack, or if I just want him to get some soup?
If you want him to eat soup, it is a bonus action.
Okay. So is that instead of my bonus action?
Yes.
Okay.
You would be giving your bonus action Cloudjumper to maybe slurp some up. I will let you know, depending on how you break this thing, you might all still be able to get some soup before the end of the fight. If you want to just have Cloudjumper make attacks instead.
Do I have to make some sort of check to know how to break it right so we can all eat?
I think it's just more the idea of you just have to call it non-lethal.
Oh, you know what? I need to roll and see if his breath weapon recharges.
Yeah, roll a d6. You've got a dragon who has a breath weapon.
Nope.
Okay. Breath weapon does not recharge.
Okay, but yeah, so just keep attacking it non-lethally?
Yeah. It's as long as you call a non-lethal shot, it's the equivalent of you're knocking it out, so you might just eat it.
I will do some non-lethal attacks then, but I'll start by letting... the first one will be Cloudjumper gets to take his multi-attack, because I just want to see that.
Cloudjumper will take... Do you want me to roll for it, or would you like to roll for it?
I can roll for it, I just had to pull it up. So it starts with the crunch, right?
Yes. So Cloudjumper...
1 crunch and 2 claws?
Yeah, dives down. For those at home, Cloudjumper, his crunch attack is a +10 to hit with
So
2d10 damage. 19 hits, so boom! Cloudjumper just hip checks the cauldron to the side, and it cracks into a table. Oh, did you roll with advantage for Cloudjumper?
I did not.
Cloudjumper might have crit.
He did not crit.
Did not crit. Okay.
8 slashing damage from the crunch.
8 slashing from the crunch as those sharp claws rip out. Here comes the claw attack.
It's 24 advantage.
24 hits. And there's no more advantage right now because
What was
the
advantage
guiding
on
bolt.
them? Okay, the other one still would have hit. It was a
Yes.
nat 12 plus 11.
Cool. Yeah, 23 still hits. And then go ahead and make your second claw attack. So, because we'll make the claw attacks together, we'll say.
Mm-hmm. Or we could have just taken those two as the 24
Oh,
and
for
23.
sure. Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay,
So this will be 2d6 plus 6 since it's
Mhm.
both the attacks together.
Unfortunately, Cloudjumper does not have Great Weapon Fighter and rolled 2 ones. But plus 6, that's an 8 total.
You watch Cloudjumper again, and you're directing him to do it non-lethally. So Cloudjumper just starts gnawing on the edge of the cauldron. I
love it. That's adorable.
And just his head is fully upside down and just biting into the metal, and it's pretty soft, so he's breaking it. The split pea soup is on death's door.
Awesome. I will try a non-lethal with Dragon Fang.
Here's your non-lethal. Second of 2 attacks.
That is 23.
23 hits. Because Crimson Right, your great sword, all that still active.
Alright, not bad. 17?
Valka, describe to me how you want to finish off the soup of mimic.
You know what it is? It's that, like, Cloud Jumper's gnawing on the edge, and I'm sort of, like, leaning over his shoulder to look in the pot, and one of the, like, weird malformed vegetables or something that floats up to the top is, like, this beating heart, and I stab it, and it...
Yes.
Yeah.
The largest chunk of just straight up roast that was floating in this stew, that's just boom, 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 boom.
Well, that's probably important.
As the soup dies, it clunks to the ground. It has been defeated. All of you stand, breathing heavily as behind you hear, "Well done, dearies. The soup's yours. Enjoy on the house because you won." It's one of those challenge things of if you beat it, you're good. But if you don't, you die.
That
So
was so fun. Thank you for giving us D&D challenge food.
D&D challenge food.
I'm here for it.
All of you take a big bowl of soup. It is the heartiest, most delicious bit of soup you've ever eaten. I will let you know. All of you will have advantage on your next ability check from eating the soup.
Nice.
And so you think it's probably only until your next ability check, so that could be anything. But you'll have this advantage going on because it just really nourished you. Amazing.
Well, I thought it wasn't quite a sit down, but...
Well, soup is really good. I can't say I've ever been to a restaurant before, so I don't imagine you'll find this on the surface, though.
I doubt it.
It was awesome.
And Dora just it was awesome. I think Swiftwind's in the corner just and you see Swiftwind clops over to the rat folk, kind of looks at her. "Do you have bread or just grain I could chew on? Just anything." And you see this lady just like, "Oh, yeah, no, we could get you something, dearie." She walks off, just gets Swiftwind some complimentary bread and grain, as Swiftwind just like, "Oh, it was alive. It was alive, it was sentient, and we were eating it, but it was eating us. Are we good? Are we bad for eating the soup? But it was gonna eat us. Oh, I'm just gonna eat my bread." And Swiftwind chews on a hunk of pumpernickel bread.
Don't overthink it.
I'm trying not to, but it was... It made noises. I think it was like screaming for help at the end. Like, I just don't know. And all of you, like, there is that half moment pause where the soup in the spoon, you're all like, oh.
Okay, but
Yeah,
also,
right. And then eat.
I feel like it's no different from, like, hunting a deer for food.
Yeah,
We just hunted for food.
it basically was.
Because, like, mimics are not what I would call, like, intelligent creatures on this. Like, I don't feel bad about eating a mimic.
Yeah. I will say, you guys are probably my first party to A, ever fight one of my mimics, and B, eat one. So, crazy. You all eat the soup. It is very filling, very hearty. And eventually, again, you know that internal clock is kind of going off of like, okay, it's getting late. You feel it's later. So you know here with Purple Toadstool, they're not like a inn. This is just like a pub, bar, and grill kind of vibe. There are other hotels or places you might be able to stay, though, in the city. But if you guys want, you could try to find a place to bunker down for the night, or you could go out and try to start searching for Fen.
I'm of two minds about this, because, like, strategically, usually we'd want to rest up, but also is nighttime the perfect time to go find what he's up to, right? Like, is this when he's out and about doing sketchy stuff?
Or do we wait till morning? Because maybe that's when he's sleeping and he'll be off his guard.
That's a strat. That's a possibility.
Us kicking down his door going, ding dong, wake up.
I will say, the strat of kicking out his door in the morning might predicate still finding him then tonight, or in some way knowing. Because again, you might need to know where he is so you can try to get that jump on him.
Got it. We go out on the street and start asking a bunch of questions, and we all use our advantage on a bunch of investigation checks.
I'm down.
Yeah.
We could do
Does
it.
anybody have locate person?
If everyone wants to double check, I'll double check Minrith's, of course.
I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say if
Most
anyone
of us are not
have it-
spellcasters.
Well, Gingy might have. I know clerics might be able to prepare
But
it.
it's just the two of you right now.
Here we go.
Locate object could also work if we like know what he'd have on him. Because
Identify featherfall comprehensively. No, Minrith does not have any of the spells that could locate. And I will say, even though I won't like circumvent Lonnie's faded spell work by taking Gias earlier, I will say like we
It
already
has
did
been
use
used.
Gias, so like it's been used, or at least by me. Yeah, Dora.
Scrying is Shira.
She-Ra does have scrying. Do you want to turn into your She-Ra form?
I mean, it could work.
If you do that, we'll definitely need to take a long rest. We should probably rest regardless.
yeah, I think that's a solid plan though. Of like, if we're gonna rest anyway, she may as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Bamfin.
And as always, She-Ra. Light glows around, the sword swirls, your hair grows longer, golden light swirls, armor forms, transforming your insane crown, shield, everything. Boom, the transformation is complete as the amazing magical girl sequence, as we all know and love, comes to fruition. And immediately, Adora, you're just standing there, again, in a room full of, like, a dead pea soup monster, like, just Adora form, or She-Ra form. Oh, excellent. We just got a freeze on our party members. So this this freeze is brought to you by, once again, Split Pea Soup. So hearty, it will give you advantage. And we're back! Ah, wonderful. All right. She-Ra, you do have scrying. So yes, you are in your She-Ra form. Would you like to use scrying on Fen?
Absolutely, I will. Not me remembering I have to give the Shira a long rest every time I reopen the sheet. So then I can't do what
Exactly.
she can
It's
do.
like, again, this is like a very powerful, almost wild shape kind of thing. You go through, here we are. Just double checking. So the target must make a wisdom saving throw that's modified by how well you know the target. Now, here's what's amazing. You know the target well and have met the target. Meaning, right now, the target has a -5 to its save. Fen has a -5 because even though it was not technically Shen, you know this person very well. I'm double checking also the modifier because connections, likeness or picture, no. Possession or garment, no. Body part, lock of hair, bit of nail. I think also
We
what I'm
have baby Shen.
yes, baby Shen or Ben, I believe is counting where if Adora holds or if She-Ra holds a baby, that's another -10 to the creature. So Shen's got a -15 to this save. I'm gonna roll. I will let you know he needs a nat 20. That's a 4 for a -11. You create an invisible sensor within 10 feet of the target. Adora, once again, your eyes just kind of glow pearly white. You suddenly see a dark room. There's water dripping from the ceiling. Shen is sitting at a desk. You see he's got a lamp next to him. And you notice around there is a ton of money. What you'll notice is the money looks legit, but Shen is bent over and using a calligraphy brush is forging documents. And you see these are the equivalent of like bonds, what you could say of like notes of promissory and of mark, things that would like prove like, oh, this person owes me money, or the bank owes me money. Shen is laundering money, it looks like, or getting money and helping pass it along. I will let you know, off in a corner, there's a small little poster board with a map of Dremore, and you see a giant pin that is marked in the North American continent. There are notes and passages of the nearest boats that leave London and are heading towards America. It looks like Fen is in the process of getting enough money to skip town and head towards the New World, which I will let you know, when he gets there, it's gonna be near impossible to ever find him again, because the New World, the American continent, has a few key cities, but just vast wilderness and expanses in between, where Fen would probably disappear forever, right? So Adora, go ahead, give me an investigation check to try and figure out a little bit more, because right now you're seeing this room, and now it's that level of how do we like deduce where this room is based on what you're able to see.
So is this her pea soup advantage?
Pea soup advantage, yes.
First one's a 12.
Okay.
Cocked. Anyone have guidance? 12's the better one.
So 12's the better one. What's your modifier to the 12?
Yes.
What was that, Gingy? Sorry.
I have bless.
I'll allow bless to work. Yeah, I think it's like if Gingy, if you want to drop a bless for like Shira and other party members, it's more that like, yeah, let's get a D4 in here. Let's start. I'll allow bless to work. I think that works here.
Right. That is 15.
15. Adora, you know enough, because again, it's not like, all right, let's look out the window. Let's see where the sun is. Oh, right, we're in the Underdark. Well, let me listen for the outsides of this. Well, no, everything sounds kind of the same down here. All very echoey and hushed whispers. And so I think, Adora, it just takes a moment. And Gingy, you help coach Adora through, like, listening in for specific sounds, trying to look for a bit of a location. But on a 15, it takes you a good half hour. Wherein, after, again, 10 minutes, Adora, eventually the scene fades. But you all are standing near a collection of apartments where, on a 15, you're sure enough that Shen must be in, like, either the first or second story with a window. It's a single-room apartment, like, not even one bed, one bath. It's one room. But it's, you think you've gotten the building and one of the two floors, and you're noticing there's about 8 rooms per floor, so you've narrowed it down from an entire city to 16 rooms.
My hypothesis is that he's on the top floor, because if you have water dripping from the ceiling, it would have to, if you're on the bottom floor, go through each floor.
Oh, I'm letting you know. No, you know it's the first or second level. And that's why it's a really bad apartment. It has gone through every level. Right? Whatever building he's in is, like, just destroyed. Like, it has... Well, and to be fair, most of the Underdark has fungi growing everywhere, but it's like, it's damp and moist with a lot of fungi, different algae everywhere. Like, again, the crystals grow. You know, Adora, from your vision, he's first or second floor. Like, if it was higher, it would have been easier to see landmarks out the window.
Hang on, I might possibly have just thought of a thing.
Yeah, what'd you think of?
I gotta find where it's written down on my character sheet. Keen smell, how Cloudjumper has advantage on perception checks that rely on smell, and he can sniff baby Shen to, like, get a sense for the scent.
Cool.
Could that help us narrow down the room?
If you want to let Cloudjumper kind of bloodhound this, yeah. So, Dax, you see Cloudjumper, this giant dragon just looms down into you and just does that big huffing sniff on you and Ben.
The only question is, do we do it now, or do we, like, wait until we're ready to come back in the morning and have him, like, because do we not want to risk getting too close and tipping him off.
That's the thing.
I think maybe waiting. If we know where he is, tomorrow might be a better time to do it.
Cloud Jumper.
If we
Cloud
take him off, then he's gonna run.
Cloud Jumper has sniffed, looks up, and bounds straight for the apartments.
Sorry, guys.
As Cloud Jumper doesn't understand the nuance of, ooh, let's find out and wait. You told him to sniff, so he sniffed and caught the scent. Boom, 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 boom. Cloud Jumper is bounding and leaping across, but every so often you hear someone just, ah! As Cloud Jumper, like, lands on a person and just leaps off of them.
Sorry.
All of you can rush right after as fast as possible. As Cloud Jumper gets close, I'm going to make a check. Yeah. You all see crashing through a window.
Crashing through the window.
Crashing through feathers whiffed out. Fen, the fake Shen, crashes through this window as he heard the dragon approaching, whips around and sees all of you. You all have that stare down. You're each about like 60 feet away. As Fen looks at all you, you look at Fen, and you see he just goes, ah. Notices baby Ben. Notices all you. Goodbye. And he turns, runs. I need everyone to roll initiative.
I'm sorry, we had a whole plan.
It's okay.
It
was really fun. I was sitting there, I'm like, well, no, yeah, the second Cloud Jumper gets the scent, he's gonna just book it. I'm like, all right. So, and I did make a check to see if Cloud Jumper would wait, but he wanted to go. Here we go.
She-Ra form still yes or no?
I didn't catch that.
Am I in She-Ra form still yes or no?
You are in She-Ra form. I sent the improved initiative. You are in She-Ra form, but again, we're about to make your check to see how long you stay in She-Ra form. Now, here we go. 20s or higher. Adora, what'd you get?
25.
25, good stuff. Yeah, because She-Ra form, much better. Anyone else 20s or higher? Cool. 15s or higher. Great. 10s or higher.
13.
Okay.
11.
11 for Valka. Here we go. Gingy, what did you get? A 7? Oh my gosh. Here we go. Stoic has advantage. That's not bad. It's about a 10. Minareth got a natural 20. All right, Minareth, that's great. And Cloud Jumper and Swiftwing go on your turns. Here we go, gang. Now, as we enter, I will let you know this is a chase scene. This is not going to be true initiative in a variety of ways. But as we go forward, there's a lot that can happen. You all see, yes, Shen takes off as fast as possible. I'll let you know he rolled terrible. As technically, Shen goes last, even below Gingy. Got a nat 1. So this is going to be good, but I will let you know, Shen is horrifyingly fast as a rogue Aarakocra. And you have a limited number of rounds to corral him. It is a chase. There will be checks you can make for your actions, right? You know, big actual like ability checks for an action. You need a certain number of successes to cut him off. Because after a minute, after 10 rounds, Fake Shen is so knowledgeable of the city, he's gonna disappear. Because again, and we're not really worried about like, what's the word I want to use? Being like flying and stuff, because something you might be able to catch up, but again, it's not like, for just as much as like Cloud Jumper and Swiftwind can help raise She-Ra and Valka to the sky, Fen will then take the underpasses and bridges, and so it needs to be on foot. And then on foot, like Gingy might be able to rush up, but then Fen might do a little bit of that fly speed. So, because he's a good rogue. So here's what's going to happen. You guys are rushing through. It's a solid plan. You're going forward. I will just let you know you're gonna make ability checks to try to get Fen. You want successes, of course, because you need a certain number of successes to catch him before 10 rounds are up. Once you have succeeded on a check, you cannot use that check again. Again, Fen is not stupid, so you can do something really clever and get him with it, but then he's going to know how to circumvent it, and so that check will be depleted. Again, if you fail a check, you can still use it. It just means the DC might be lowered a little bit. And that's all she wrote. Here we go, gang. Starting us off is Adora and Swiftwind, because Minrith with a nat 20, I am going to send Minrith down the line just to, help out. So Minrith's just waiting to see if she needs to jump in with augur points or help actions. So Adora and Swiftwind, how do you want to start us off here?
I think what we're going to start off with... This is going to sound very mean. But, I'm going to start off with an animal handling check.
Yeah!
But I'll flavor it as, me and Swiftwind are trying to navigate through the streets.
Exactly, right? Pulling on the reins, getting around the tight corners. Go ahead and make the ability check.
So, hypothetically, if it was an 11.
For a total of?
11.
Gotcha. Here's what's going to happen. We're already jumping in. Minrith is going to give you the help action. And then Minrith still has a reaction for an augur point to try again. So, help action to you. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
So, that'll be 16.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to allow Gingy's Bless to still be up because a 16 does not cut it. Go ahead and roll a d4.
4.
Dirty 20?
Dirty 20 will succeed. So you all take off, and it's that splitting up. Adora, you and Swiftwind go into the sky, and you are dodging in around buildings. You see Shen up ahead, and as Shen is about to do that flying leap, you cut him off right before, and he's like that peacock screech as he has to halt midair and glide off to a different roof building. You have routed him completely. That's one success. Excellent stuff.
How many successes do we have? Have you told us? Or
I've not told
Okay.
you yet. You might have to risk getting a check on your turns to figure that out. Okay, Adora and Swiftwind, excellent stuff. That makes Dax with Valka on deck. Dax, which ability check do you want to use, knowing that you have advantage because this is your first ability check?
Yep. Okay. I am familiar with the city, and if Fen has been down here for a while, then I imagine he probably would have found similar hidey holes and secret paths that I would have found.
Yeah.
So I would like to use a perception. Investigation.
Gotcha.
To kind of decide which paths he might be taking and try to cut him off that way.
I love it. Go ahead and make the investigation.
That is a 17.
A 17 is the exact DC. I'll let you know, all these DCs are 17. This is based on some of Shen's passives. You rush and you immediately, using that common okay, there's right up ahead. So you all watch, Dax jumps into what seems to be a tiny little pothole in the ground, and as you're running, Fen runs through and Dax, you pop up, knitting needles drawn, and Shen has to do a full clawed, digging his claws up the side of the wall to run as you circumvent him. That's 2 successes. Hell yeah. You love to see it. Valka, that's you.
Shenaniganery?
Shenanigans?
If
Shenanery?
I hit him and use my brand of castigation, which means I always know what direction he's going in, could that count for a success because it brands him and we know where he is?
It will count for success, and it might give you advantage for your checks.
Awesome.
So
I
if you want to use,
still roll to hit him, but that would be then an auto
because there
success.
you can use spells and attacks. I should say it's just more that like, especially with like this, you have 10 rounds. It's very likely that Shen might not get hurt enough before the rounds are up.
And so he is smaller than Cloudjumper, so mounted combatant should give me advantage on the attack.
We'll give you advantage.
22.
22.
So I will roll damage, and he will be branded. 17 points of damage.
I'm gonna be mean.
Uh-huh.
Shen sees this attack coming, and you see he goes, "Not so fast!" And he whips out a scroll, which gives him a burn shield spell. His AC increases to 23, so your attack will barely miss.
Was I one of the blessed? Because she can hit multiple
Oh, because
people?
Gingy can give blessed to multiple people. That's right. Gingy, would you? Yeah, would you have given it to Valka?
Yeah.
So
Let me
then
see.
even on a 1 on the
How
D4,
many?
I would hit him.
Cool.
Let's do Adora, Valka, and Shen. Or not Shen, not Shen.
Excellent! Shen runs away! No, Gingy, you give
Um,
it to Dax.
one.
Okay. Because,
Yeah.
Minarith has augury points. I will allow, so yes, even on the minimum, but Shen will burn that shield, so his AC is now really high as he pulls out a quick little bag of tricks. Still hits. 17 damage, yeah, he looks a little hurt right now.
Does he also have to roll for my favorite presence?
I will let you know, he might have already rolled and succeeded.
Okay, no, that's totally cool. I just want to make sure we keep track of it. And
Yeah.
then for my second attack, could I have Cloudjumper make a check and try and get another success that way?
I will say Cloudjumper can't take a check for you because
Okay.
if you're making the check, it's got to be kind of your go. If that
That's
makes
fair.
sense.
I was just hoping that, like, for that second attack, he could use his intimidation roll or something.
But again, I will say that makes 3 successes, and Valka,
I mean, I
you
do
now
still
have a permanent advantage, at least for this chase, because you rush in, hit, and the feathers on his back burn, and you notice it's his own symbols that are glowing, and you've just got that radar spot in your mind.
And I may as well use a second attack while I've got it, right?
You can.
Yeah, I'm gonna first roll and see if the Cloudjumper has his breath weapon back. Just
Yeah,
to
roll
be
for it.
really mean.
See if Cloudjumper's got
He
breath.
does not. Okay. So I'll just take a second attack with Dragon Fang, and I
Okay.
may as well stamina point. I'm being really mean, but
You can be mean, but I will clarify again, you're not going to get him on damage.
okay. Well,
It's
then,
just, it's like,
just that it feels weird to be like wasting resources because I'm so
Oh,
used
yeah.
to. Oh no, you have no action economy. Like
no, I totally get it. It's,
So
I'll
is
let you know, he's got bandoliers of health potions, spell scrolls,
so
like,
there's like no benefit to using my second attack. I should just.
it's very much, it's smart to use attacks when there's stuff like branding smites, different spells. Like, it's never going to be like a waste. I just never want to be like, I'm going to say still roll. Like, we can do a
Could
standard,
I
like,
use a second attack for like a grapple?
if you would like to try to grapple, yes. So this is going to be contested. Shen will roll then.
So for me, this is athletics, right?
And he can use acrobatics.
Okay, but for me, it's athletics. And is this still a mounted combatant advantage thing because it's technically an attack, or how does that work?
No, because it's not an attack.
Okay.
Well,
Well, if it's not an attack,
I don't think it
can't
technically
do it.
counts as an attack, but I'll allow it to count in this way of, I'll allow it to work that way.
For I can do it, or I can do
Advantage,
it.
yes.
Okay. I just threw a die on the floor. Uh, 24?
A 24 does not beat his synthetic 25 on a nat 20.
Oh, alright.
Uh,
Okay.
Shen is here to mess around, I guess. You go in, branding smite, his feathers all burn and glow with that symbol, and as you go to just grapple him, he does that dirty trick of, he straight up pokes you in both eyes with his metal talons, and just like, sorry, and just whips
no, you're
off. And whew, as he glides down across another building, that's Valka and Cloudjumper. Stoic is gonna go. Now, Stoic can try a couple things, so he's gonna... Stoic's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna call it his athletics, because Stoic is raging, will have advantage to just straight up grab him. Stoic got a synthetic 26. Pass. 4 successes as a total. As Stoic does straight up grapple him, and you see Fen has to use a scroll of Misty Step and teleport out and dive over a bunch of carts of fruit as Stoic, boom, just crashes through the fruit, just charging after him. That's 4 successes for the party as a whole. Gingy, that is you, and I will let you know Shen is on deck. But again, Shen's turn is to mark the end of the order, really. Most of his turn is, like I said, it will be the, like, he's taking health potions, doing spells, getting out of these effects in this chase scene. Oh, sorry, it cut in and out just real quick there. What was that second part?
Am I within 60 feet of him?
Yes. Again, for the purpose of this, you're always going to be within range of most stuff.
Okay, perfect. He has metal talons, right?
Yeah.
This isn't the real, and I'm going to heat his metal talons.
Once again, great use of spell. So like Branding Smite, here's how we're going to flavor it. You'll drop Bless, but again, Bless did what it needed to this last round. So you're concentrating on the heat metal. In this moment, it will count as advantage as, again, he's running through and is about to run up again another building, just kind of climbing, and suddenly his metal talons just start bracing. And just kind of has to drop on the ground and trying to stamp his feet out. The damage isn't what's going to really matter. Again, it's the fact that it'll count for an auto success. So that's 5 successes. And again, Gingy, you'll have further advantages just for yourself personally as you are giving him hot foot. So you, boom, get the advantage, and Gingy, again, you sweet cinnamon smell and fire erupts around his feet. It's just like, I forgot how annoying you are, as he tries to run away from you, Gingy, and you're just hot on the trail. Gingy, that is amazing. That is the end of the round. There have been 5 successes, but you only have 9 rounds remaining. Here we go. Once again, Minarith, just in case, is kind of sending the turn down the line just to... If everyone succeeds, she can make a check, but if not, she's trying to hold on to her reactions for augur points and help actions. Adoran Swiftwind, that's you again. Oh, muted. There
So
you go.
as Shira, I'm going to be doing an athletics. Almost said the wrong one. Because as Adora, I can do acrobatics, but Shira cannot. So I'm using my plus 11 stat. Just trying to
Excellent.
Win.
And again, Dax
Yeah,
figured out
no,
all of these are DC 17s. So on a plus 11, you just need a 6.
Let's see. Yeah, does a 27 make it?
A 27, yeah, for sure. Again, Adora, like Stoic,
Oh, sorry, not 27, 30.
30, yeah, it's high numbers. You fly down and just straight up pin Fen's tail feathers below your sword, and just turns around, looks you in the eye. You know, I
just went to the gap for a drink.
He's like, I don't care. You're hurting me, so I'll hurt you back. And he wipes at you with the claws, whips around. You pull out a good chunk of feathers, but that's another success. You'll love to see it, Adora. As you rush down, that's Dax with Valka on deck.
Okay, did we get a short rest?
I will allow the restaurant to have counted as a short rest.
Cool, just making sure because spells reset for me on a short rest.
For a warlock, yes. Yes. It would have at least been an hour of, after you kill the mimic, take an hour of let's eat and just sit.
Can I just ignore that? Because for me, it would just be that, like, I would have to re-roll a bunch of hit dice, but then also redo the Crimson Riot.
Yeah, you don't have to. Cool. Yes, sorry, Dex.
Okay. Sure. Okay, I thought my fairy fire reset on a short rest, but that is something different.
Gotcha. Yeah.
In that case, I am going to, as we're running through the city again, I'm going to try and do something similar to what I did last time, but just kind of do a perception check to kind of follow where he's going, kind of catch, just kind of keep him in my sight and maybe try to get. I guess he won't be able to get out in front of him, but I'd like just to get a perception check to keep him.
No, I think if that's the flavor
in
of
view.
Yeah, if that's the flavor of keep him in view, and again, it is what you're doing as often as you can. Get in front of him, subvert the. You're literally trying to. It's like catching a greased pig, right? Slowly condense the area. So go ahead and make the perception.
Oof. Okay, that one's just a 9.
Minarith can augur point to give you advantage.
Yep. Thank you, Minarith. That is a.
Oh.
That's a 16.
16. It does. So, Dex, you're watching him, and he does a very clever, as he rounds a corner, he throws a bunch of crates, and so you duck your head, and as you get around the corner, crap, where did he go? And you, like, whip around. You do a full 180, and he's somehow behind you, even farther away, and you, knuckle down, run. So it doesn't succeed this time. That means the DC for perception for you will lower, though. So if you try it again, it is going to... Again, it continually gets easier, but the point is, but how many rounds do you want to waste, like, trying to get them off? So, Dex, you're on the trail. Valka, that's you. Stoic's on deck. I'm actually going to take Stoic's turn, subgroup it with you, and just start rolling his.
Can I do a, like, survival check for that tracking him through the city?
Yes, you may.
And this would be advantage from the...
Advantage from the Branding Smite. Yep, Stoic's about to do...
Not the Random Castigation. I was about to call it Branding Smite, though.
Ooh.
Oh, that's gonna be stupidly good. That's a 24.
24. I will let you know, Stoic rolled a 21 for his survival. So you go, he's like, I'll cut him off on the ground, and he, boom, 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 and just get, Stoic is crashing through walls, carts, people, as like rat folks scatter, and Stoic just charges through them.
Oh,
and
it's gonna be that very comical, like, Cloudjumper does the whole we settle down right in front of Shen, and he turns around and runs right into Stoic.
Yeah, so, yeah, he's like, oh shit, boom! Just full clocks. Shen, or fake Shen, breaks his beak a little. He's like, grabs his nose, sees this, and does a very cool, like, he whips down, becomes like a puddle of feathers, and when you look down, he slips between Stoic's legs, but that is 2 more successes. You are up to 8 successes total. That is Gingy, at the end of the order before Fen. Gingy, what check or ability or spell do you want to try now?
Oh, sorry, let's do Guiding Bolt.
Oh, super smart. So again, trying to get that success off, and again, offer advantage to the next person. That's super helpful, especially because like people like Adora, Dax, and Minra start the order, so giving them advantage. So go ahead, roll to hit. 21. So Gingy, I will say, all of you have never seen Gingy go on the offense before, but this is Gingy like, boom, heat metal, boom, guiding bolt, boom, and just throwing out these really cool offensive spells as Gingy is streaking through Underlondon. If Shen wasn't already such a mark, he now smells of the cinnamon and gumdrop. You can't catch him, but I'm the gingerbread man. Don't. Gingy takes off. Gingy, that's another success. We're up to 9, and you're going to offer advantage to the next person thanks to that guiding bolt. You love to see it. At the end of the round, that's Shen. Okay, that was round 2. We're up to round 3. 7 rounds remaining, including this one. Once again, Minarith doing that clever. And I will say, Minarith will probably flavor as Minarith might be flying with Adora. Just out like, let's keep in the air so I can throw out the auger points. But Adora and Swiftwind, that's you with Dax on deck.
Right. I'm gonna try and use a medicine trick.
Ooh. 4?
And the way I'm going to flavor this is kind of with Adora's healing powers, right? Because that's kind of what we flavored the medicine checks for, not Adora, for Shira.
Yep.
And I'm going to do it to Shira. You said that he just cracked his beak?
Yeah.
It's kind of like in a weird kind of Superman-y-esque way. If, Metro Man's supposed to be into this for Superman. She feels the distress through this medicine check.
Right, no, I like it. And actually, before you make the medicine check, I completely forgot. Can you roll me the all-important D6? Because we need to figure out how many rounds you're able to hold your She-Ra form.
Absolutely.
I forgot that.
3.
3. Okay. Again, your base is always 4 plus the d6, so you have 7 rounds. That's going to be a lot of this combat. That's good. That's good. Again, the minimum is always a 5, but at max you get a full minute. Because again, it's really hard to sustain She-Ra without just burning up inside, right? Your body naturally like rejects the spirit eventually. But yes. So you've still got a bunch of rounds left to Dora. This is only round 3. You have 4 more rounds of this form. Go ahead and make the medicine check. You have advantage thanks to Gingy. Again, the flavor being Guiding Bolt hurts.
Yeah, no, I will take the better. That is a synth 25.
Synth 25. You clock immediately and swing down. And yeah, you see his feet are on fire. His tails are burning. He's missing a glump. His beak is broken. Fen doesn't look great. But that makes it another success. We're up to 10 successes. You love to see it. Here we go. That's Doran Swift and Dax. That's you with Valka on deck.
Okay. Let's try that perception check again, just to keep him in sight.
Yep. And DC is lower right now.
Oh, Minareth, that's a nat 1.
You see Minareth he's around the corner, gives you the auger point. I should keep track of these. Minareth could run out. Woo!
Okay. That is a 21.
So she goes around the corner, and Dax, you rush, and you, face to face, 10 feet away. You see Shen. You're new, aren't you? What's your name, boy?
I'm going to kind of hold out Ben.
You see.
Like, I'm Dax.
He recoils from the baby. I see. No.
Do we just need to get him to touch the baby?
And you run, and you are on him like Blue Bonnet. That is amazing, Dax. That's another success. You are up to 11, and yeah, he does not want the baby. Or he doesn't look pleased that you're holding the baby. As Dax, you introduce yourself to Shen. Valka, that's you, Cloud Jumper, Stoic. Again, Stoic's gonna act with you guys. I'm gonna find another check he's decent at.
I would like to just keep tracking him, but I'll make it an investigation check this time, so it's technically different.
Okay, Stoic failed his intimidation. Stoic, stop right there or I'll kill ya! And Fen apparently doesn't like the idea of stopping him being killed.
Does he want my point of inspiration?
Well,
it might not be worth it.
It'll lower for Stoic. It just means Stoic's not helping with a check this round.
But I'm good to use investigation?
Yep.
That is exactly 17.
Exactly 17.
Barely a success, right?
And which check were you using?
Investigation.
Investigation. So you use your investigation and just you and Cloud Jumper again. Cloud Jumper is no longer leaping. It is just that as all 4 wings are beating as fast as possible, streaking through the city. That makes 12 successes. Gingy, that's you as you are closing in on him. Because again, Gingy, I'll point out, with heat metal on, it does mean any check you want to make, any of your ability checks, you do have advantage. Because again, it's for you personally, you are melting his feet, so you know how to better catch him, if that makes sense.
But I just kind of redo the heat metal, or flare it.
Well, and so here's the thing. Flaring it, the additional damage right now, it's kind of like with the ability checks where you can't reapply certain spells to get the auto success. Like, again, the flavor of it all being he now is wary. So right now, Shen is just bearing and just gritting his beak, trying to bear through the pain of heat metal, but he can't avoid the natural advantage it gives you for knowing he's having to deal with it. So flaring it isn't going to give any auto success right now, but it gives you advantage on your other ability checks or things you can try. Oh, it cut out just that last part. What was that? Sorry.
I might just try to hit him with another guiding bolt and just keep.
So guiding bolt again, it won't give you the auto success, but it could give someone else an advantage. Okay, yeah, roll the hit. So you're going for the damage, and now he's prepared for these damages. But again, it's still going to apply that let's make sure allies have advantage going on right now.
but
That's a 10.
Oh, unfortunately, a 10 does not hit his armor class right now. You... And again, it is that flavor. He sees the streak of light coming and does an impressive flip. He grabs two rat folk and just Olympic gymnast vaults himself upward, and boom, the streak of light passes through the two, and Finn glides down and keeps running. Jinji, you keep running off, so no success that round. We are to round 4. Only 6 rounds remaining, and we only have 12 successes. Minarith.
But we don't know what that means.
Don't know what it means yet. Minarith is at the top of the order, holding. Adora, that's you with Dax on deck. What do you want to try, Adora?
kind of blown through my stuff that's good. However, the next one I'm gonna do is going to be a survival check, and it's kind of gonna be in the sense of when we were in the mountains tracking those frost giants.
Yep.
And it's kind of, if you'll allow me to flavor the survival check like this, is in that memory of when not wanting to be seen, how did Fen walk? Right? Like, you know, in the whole, like, what did he do on his survival checks, you know?
Yes.
And so
You're going to make a survival check, because it's like, if this peacock, again, stalking through the snow, keeping light on his feet, how is that going to apply to tracking him now?
So that is going to be a 19.
19 is still a success. Indeed, calling it correctly. Okay, light on his feet. He's not going to move. Because, yeah, you see, Fen is not trying to get into crowded areas. It's harder to move through. So you find the small cross beams of wood and over where he can make quick glides. Fen does not want to sprint out. He's making quick turns, quick moves, and you call that correctly. That makes, we're up to 13 successes. You are closing ever continually in, Adora. It's looking good. Dax, that's you.
Okay, as we're going through and chasing, so he's been keeping an eye on what we've been doing, so I'm going to try and use that against him and almost faint as though I'm trying to cut him off again, and then disappear somewhere else to cut him off where he's going to go to avoid me.
You know that I know that you're gonna faint, so my feint is to feint your feint to cut you off, to cut me off before you cut me off. Haha!
That'll be with deception.
I love it. This intense mind game quickly passes between Dax and Fen. 12, auger point.
Synth 20.
Synth 20. I will let you know, Minarith only has 2 auger points left. So, Dax, once again, you're thinking, go left to right, right to left, left to right, and you just hear Minarith, he's going right! And so you're like, oh, right, ha! And you go just duck into an alleyway, pop out, and whoo. But yes, you do deceive him, as once again, he scratches into a halt. That makes 14 successes, and Dax, he's getting really cornered. Again, it's no longer 30 feet away, 20 feet. It's now really into the 10 feet now. He's really starting to get closed off, you think. Valka, that's you. Stoic is once again trying his intimidation. Thank goodness. Lower DC, he succeeds. That's 15 successes as Stoic just goes, I'll rip your entire feathers from your bottom and make you a turkey for Thanksgiving. And you see, Fen actually loses full train of thought of that horrifying image of, I don't want to be plucked. All right, Valka.
Can I try my athletics for we're just booking it through the city?
Yeah, and I like it that we're in that last strike. Just rush, right? Just go for it.
Oh, that's good. That's... Is 16 plus 7, 23?
23. Yeah, that hits the mark. 16 successes as you boom, 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 cloud jumper, and you are rushing forward, and he is just within arm's reach. It's seeming close. Jinji, that's your turn once again with Shen on deck at the bottom of the order.
And that's going to help you with if you do any other checks like perception investigations or things. That's going to be good advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know what to investigate or anything on here.
Well, so what skills do you have? Yeah, so you can use let's see what this to try to I don't know. Anyway, so your choice, just so long as you can justify it.
Yeah. And again, the justification is more just that fun role play of it all. Of like, what would this look like? How do you think it feels to do this? Oh, cut out just enough. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'll try. I think I'll just try to guiding bolt him again and just keep trying to give the next person that advantage.
It is that smart idea of, hey, if I can get advantage, that's a really solid plan. That's totally fair.
Funny.
22 does hit Gingy. So you, boom, deal some damage. It won't be that auto success, but you see, again, he is glowing golden light. Sugary scent fills the air. Next person has advantage on whatever check they need to make. It's looking not great for Fen. End of the order. That's his turn. He does his little healing potions, anything he needs to. Minner, top of the order, holding her last 2 augur points. Adora, that's your go with Dax on deck.
I'm going to try and use persuasion now.
Okay.
I've just been like, stuff like, we just want to talk. We know you're trying to skip down, like, not trying to scream that, right? But like, if we're in the 10-foot range, like, whenever we meet, I'm like, we know you're wanting to skip down. We just want to talk before you do, okay?
Just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just
want to talk.
Talk.
Oh, dang. I might need that augur point.
Well, what'd you roll?
Rolled a 10. I only got a +5.
Gingy has the guiding bolt on him. You have advantage. Again, normally
Guiding bolt?
Well, guiding bolt is normally for the next attack, but again, for this kind of encounter, it's Gingy has offered that advantage because he's glowing. It's easier to hit him and find him, so you have advantage thanks to guiding bolt going off.
Better. Synth 20.
Synth 20 beats it. We're up to 17 successes. So you yell that, like, you're trying to skip down. Stay with us. Fen doesn't respond. You see, though, his eyes are narrowing. He is entering that very cold calculation of, he is now, it's no longer just, ooh, I'll take the next right. It's very much that, like, they are getting too close, and he's trying to think of a way out of this. That's, Adora, that is your turn. Dax, that is you.
Hey. For this one where he's kind of running out of options, we're getting close. I think I would like to, this might hurt the party a little bit, but if we can get people on exits, I would like to cast darkness.
Yes.
On... Would I be able to cast darkness on Bart?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay. So I think what I want to do is if we're close enough, I would like to get in close, drop Bart on Fen's back, and darkness Bart.
Incredible.
I love it. I'll actually let you know, Dax, I'm going to give you a point of inspiration because while this won't give your group an automatic success, there is something that was going to happen at the end of this round because we're halfway through that was going to start that's going to really help you guys out. You had no way of knowing, but you just intuitively, like, we got to start cutting off exits. You throw Bart on, and Bart goes, yes, I stay here forever. And Bart bites straight in. You see, he's like, tick! And there's a tick on me! As he is just, like, whipping around at the small of his back. But, boom, darkness expands outward. Dax, that's incredible. Okay, Valka, Cloud Jumper, Stoic. Stoic's gonna make a check.
Hear me out on the flavor of this one.
Damn, Stoic fails. Minarith will hold Dr. Point to see if you need it.
I want to make it history, and I want to flavor it for that, like, not only remembering whatever, Dex has been able to tell us about the city, but remembering every maneuver that I've ever seen, like, Shen do, like, so I know what tricks not to fall for, because, like, we know him.
Yes, exactly. So history.
like,
What do I know about this dude? Let's go.
That's a natural 20.
Woo! I will let you know, a nat 20. I'm going to quickly do something. I'm going to roll. Stoic has an auger point from Minarith. He is using perception just to spot him. And I think the flavor of is, now with darkness up, it's like, oh, wait, crap. Use an auger point. That's an 11 plus 5 for 16. Stoic barely fails. A nat 20 counts for 2 successes. You're up to 19 successes. You're so close. And you correctly call it. It's a nat 20. You enter the darkness and know for a fact what's about to happen. Fenn's getting closed on all sides. He is going to pull that move where he becomes that puddle of feathers on the ground and slink through the legs. And so you just straight up bring your sword like a golf club. Boom! Underneath your leg. Shen, you hear... beep, just full bleep of expletives as this dude just screams in pain as you think you cut part of his beak off. Whatever's down there is cut off on a nat 20. As that's 2 successes. He just got wrecked with a nat 20 of you called correctly of he's gonna do that puddle thing. He's gonna get really low to the ground. So 4, and just cleave into him.
I do feel kind of bad for the dude, but it makes it no less funny.
It does not make it any less funny. Here we go. Valka, at the end of your turn and the end of Stoic's, and unfortunately Stoic just missed so close. Gingy, that is your go. All of you are so close. All of you are about anywhere between 15 to 20 feet away. But again, 20 feet away as he is still running, and every so often he does duck and evade you guys and whip and wriggle around. It's getting close, but at the end of this round, I will let you know something will be happening that might change the game, if that makes sense.
I think I'm going to just encircle him in a wall of fire and just capture him.
Because you can do it in the circle.
Incredible. Again, spells, it's a big spell, but it's an auto success. Giving you the 20 successes you need.
Good.
Right in time. As at the end of this round, Gingy, boom, your fire, those butane torches, boom, 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 around in that circling ring. Fen stops, trapped by the darkness, by the fire, as you needed 20 successes. Because at the end of round 5, Shen had backup that was going to appear, and Shen and his backup were going to get chances to make opposed checks to increase the ratings. Basically, he and his goons could have, made more checks, but after 30 seconds, you all skid to a halt. The butane torch is you all see there are a couple, drow and rat folk that briefly appear on a nearby rooftop. Immediately see he's already straight up gone. He is encircled by fire, and you watch them all just... It's full Muppet Treasure Island when the Pig Islanders show up and just full turn and run as far as they can out of there, where they're like, we're not doing this. That brings us out of initiative. Well done. Fen is breathing hard. Bart is draining him of blood slowly. Fire is burning. His beak is... You see his beak now has a horrifying break in the notch. He's got a deviated septum without meaning to. He has slashes and guiding bolts and melted claws and sugar everywhere, and he's not looking great. But you all watch as he sits here, breathing hard. Well done. I see the cookie has gotten a bit more flair for the dramatics. Clever, keeping me off my guard. Yes, and dragons. I didn't know it was fair to bring dragons. I'll remember this for next time. And you see, I will let you know, he is searching through his spell scrolls, but any quick teleportations, anything, again, the flavor of getting the 20 successes, he doesn't have any quick teleportations, he doesn't have a spell, he is trapped in a ring of fire, slowly just waiting to see what you all do.
Like we said, just want to talk. But apparently you needed some dramatics, as per usual.
Adora, I live for the dramatics. Because you see, he says, Adora, you are in She-Ra form, and realize he never technically saw this form until, indeed, just a few seconds later, you bamf out, just you can't hold it forever once it goes off, into Adora form, and he just kind of knew it was you. But you see, he goes, alright, now what do you want? I'm sure you're all a bit, let me guess, peeved? Do I owe you money? Do I owe you compensation for time lost?
No. I said I want to take you up for a drink.
Really? A drink?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask, does the rest of the party wish to wine and dine me, as they say?
Look, you're not dumb. He's holding the baby. You know what we're here for.
Yes, I know he's holding the baby. And you see Fen loses a bit of that bravado, that royal snark, and he gets a little more... Common isn't the right word, but a little more real. A little more, like, middle class. Just, yeah, I know why he's here. I'm honest. I'm surprised you found the kid. Let alone that those other morons actually succeeded against Mab. That, it honestly, gotta say, got me by surprise.
Better them than us, right?
You see, though, he holds up a small... He lifts one of his ankles with those little metal towns on. And now that you're out of the fight, you actually see there is some form of bracelet on it. You see, he goes... Thankfully, I nicked this off of my former employer before the total baby recall was announced. Simple metallurgy and craftsmanship, but hey, sometimes changelings know what they're doing. Simple spell, but keeps things running, so they say. And all of you kind of get the feeling, yeah, it's a very simple, like what we would call a common magical item, but something where like it would keep a first level or cantrip level magic going much longer than it needs to, right? Imagine if you could cast sleep a couple times, but for his case, whatever effect he's got, he's compounded it in on himself. So you see Fen looks at you and just, I apologize. I will admit I assumed something would happen to the former prince, but I will say I wasn't expecting a child.
Well, can you send him back?
Can I? Yes. Will I? That's something we might want to haggle. The Lord Shen is my bound child. I have marked him since before he was even a fully functioning toddler. Should I take off my bracelet, break my charms, he will grow. But at a cost of my freedom forever. I do not have other forms, I simply have this face. And you see, he says face, but again, half his beak is missing, he is charred, half his feathers pulled, but he seems like, he's like, I don't feel it fair that some snarky child who would have grown up to become a snarky, cruel king should get to walk around when I could do much more for the world.
I feel like you both deserve a chance to.
funny word, isn't it, Adora? Deserve. Did I deserve to be born a changeling? Did Shen deserve to be prince? We do both deserve a life, but... And once again, he kind of holds up that... does that peacock kind of foot raise. But only one of us gets what we deserve.
What if... And I feel like Dora was going to say something and then kind of like huddles with her friends together. Kind of go like, I have an idea. The other parties, they've been finding like wish spells left and right? So why couldn't we figure out, maybe not like a wish spell, but like something that helps Ben be able to just live as he wants?
I think we could. I mean, Dax doesn't really want to ruin Fen's life, but he doesn't want to extend Fen's life at the expense of ruining Shen's life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you see, that's what Fen seems bitter about, too. It's that there's no fair thing here. So you see...
But if we could find a different way of him going on without needing Shen, that would be the optimal solution.
What I'll say is, if the party wants, we'll call it a group history check to... Because again, there's been so much in this past year now of Dreamworks of each party finding items, talking about it in chats, sharing stories in and out of campaign. It's kind of that, like, yeah, what could help? Like, we know people with high magics or items.
Yeah, synth 20.
Alright. And this is a group, so it's going to be, like, lowest of the highest. So, Valka, what did you get?
Nat 2.
Nat 2 for a total of...
It's history, that's an 8.
8. Okay.
Dax has not been with the party for as long as everyone else has, so a 7 is appropriate.
All right.
It's 21 for Gingy.
21.
Thank you.
So
I
Gingy...
could use my point of inspiration to try and get...
I'll say, let's see what Minareth gets.
Okay.
Minareth might be able to help break the tie of the 7 and 8 and the 20. Minareth does have proficiency in history. That's a synth 20 as well.
Alright.
2 20s and a 21. Minareth, Adora, and Gingy. You guys are racking your brain. I think, Falca, for you, it could just be that, like, you're not thinking of a history of... Does he deserve it? Like, you might not be thinking about the, like, ooh, is there an item we know? It's like, you lied to people. Do you deserve, like, I'm sorry, why are you, like, complaining about this when it's kind of your own choice?
Mm-hmm.
So, and Dax, of course, it's not like I haven't been around the block as long as everyone else. Minareth, Gingy, and Adora, you think through everything. And you know it would be a huge ask to ask for a wish spell for this dude. That's, again, a permanent solution, but such a big solution. I will say, you have heard, though, of a party known as the Union, where one of the persons is a strange blue alien man who developed certain technologies to change faces. He called it the Hollow Watch, and you remember specifically because it was one of those things for you guys months ago, in real time, years ago, of this. There was a whole city in the New World that stole his technology, that co-opted it, reverse engineered it, and it was like a city of changelings where everyone had different faces and everyone could change them as well. And they basically did a whole thing to destroy the servers out there and like bind it so that only certain watches could do it, like no one could do it on a mass scale. And that's just an uncommon to rare item. That's not a huge request. Like, I would even say that's something I could allow as a DM. Like, also because I know Shaney's a great guy. I feel like Shane/Megamind would go, yeah, I could allow one, with the stipulations of he might only give you a watch that gives one face. Right? Like, his watch has thousands that he can download and change, because Shane is actually playing a changeling, like the actual stat. but again, flavored as Megamind for the Hollow Watch. So it's like he might give a watch with the stipulation of it can only be like if Fen wants Shen, right? It can only be the one face, but that's it. So.
And wasn't there? I'm trying. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, please.
I'm not trying to metagame, but wasn't there also an option that they could create a face?
Well,
so if Ben really wanted to.
I think though here and because here's I'm trying to do like because Shane as a person is also very like not mistrusting. He is that like ooh I can see how this could go wrong. I think it would be while he could give Fen a hollow watch that could create a face. Shane would go, but we want to know his face. Mm-hmm. We don't want this dude to slip into anonymity. We want to know if we ever see an albino peacock, it's either the prince or the fake, right? Like, we gotta know. So I feel like if you want to use that as a party to, like, say, we could use Gabriel, ask him to grab this, or, you know, Megamind create it, and that way, Fen has a fake face. He's still a changeling underneath. But Ben becomes the real Prince Shen, and Fen can go do what he wants to.
I'd be happy making that offer, because honestly, it's like, I have no grudge against Fen. Like, he never screwed us over or anything, but it's like, we got a baby that we gotta make an adult. Yeah. Like, work with us here, buddy.
Yeah, I think Dax would have a little bit of hesitation in letting Fen continue to wear Shen's face, because what stops him later from just swooping in and saying, I'm the real Shen.
But again, as long as
so maybe if we let him make his own face, but keep it known so that we know what he looks like.
Yeah, I think it'll all just come down to like us talking with Shane and like agreeing here's like the face that now Fen gets.
Yeah. It's okay. No, I like that. We'll put it in Shane's court. I mean, quite literally. It's during their session, they'll have that option of, do you want to give this changeling a chance for a new face if it's a face that every party would know? Mm-hmm. The idea of like, hey, let's print out a picture and it's a watch that only Megamind can change. Like, it's one of those things Megamind already did. Like, I don't want this technology ever getting disrupted and distributed ever again. It's a solid option. So
I'm down for that.
Fen will kind of accept this proposal. You see, he goes, a face of my own. Very well. And you see he straightens up, kind of rolls his jaw a little bit, or his lower beak. If you would, and you see he kind of gestures to the butane torches. I won't run, as I would like to stick around until I have what I need. But if any of you try anything funny, and you see actually he looks at Ben, I will slay the prince. Deal?
We're trying anything funny? We got what we want as long as you don't try anything funny.
Exactly. And as long as you don't try anything funny, I get exactly what I want.
So we're all good?
It's like what he's so worried about?
Yeah, make an insight.
I don't have great insight.
And Aura's like,
curious.
so we're all good?
You see Fen just kind of shrugs.
It's a 14.
14. You think, again, it's like you said, he never did betray you, but his whole purpose was to betray you. It just never got there in time. So you see Fen is kind of just like, very well. Lead on.
Right, I swoop him up into a hug and I go, drinks! Drinks, drinks, drinks!
You swoop up, Fen, you just, yes. Thank
you. Drinks!
So Dax is a little concerned about the I will slay Ben thing.
Yes.
Would you allow me to use a stamina point to cast Armor of Agathis on Ben? Normally that's a self spell, but would you allow me to use a stamina point to kind of transfer that to...
This sounds odd, because right now Ben is more or less an object stat block. That sounds really bad. But it's that idea of, like, you can use a stamina point to, like, cast this very good, like, hey, if anything tries to hit it, let alone it probably won't, and it will damage back. It's a clever thing.
Well, then Ben has 20 temporary hit points, and if Shen does anything, he takes 20 cold damage.
That's insanely cool. Yeah, you watch. Fen will look at you all, And here's where you will all get a very odd sending, for lack of a better word. As you all listen out, you will hear the voice of a chosen that we know as Arthur. Arthur reaches out. Hey everyone! For those who don't know me, my name is Arthur Pendragon, and I'm the once and future king. I'm planning on taking over Far, Far Away, and I need the best at my side to accomplish that. As it is a high request to drop what you guys are doing and to come to help with the risk of death, this is my offer. You fight by my side if you want. Gabriel can help us get together if your party is not close to where we are. When we win, you can choose your payment in between these 3 options, per person. 1, money. There's plenty of money, so you can name your price, and we'll figure it out. 2, power. Far, Far Away is filled with magical items and magic itself. Power can easily be found. As with me as the new ruler, if you choose this, you can have it. And 3, respect. I will extend a position in my court and even grant the title of knight to those who wish to be knights. Basically, Artie is saying you name your price, you name a magic item, or you even get like kind of a favor, that like knightship thing. He's offering what we would call like a one-shot or a bit of a side thing to help out in Far, Far Away. Now, I will clarify what he means to the Peacekeepers. Because again, that was like to everyone. But what Artie sends to you is, so I hear you're called the Peacekeepers. Do you guys know Queen Rayhan in Ilvanor? So I'm in a bit of a bind. I've got some armies, but we're not going to be able to take Far, Far Away on our own. From what I've heard, Ilvanor has an impressive standing army, and if they came over the Alps, it could really help us take the city. Do you think you could talk to the Queen on my behalf? As again, I offer her the same 3 items and continued allyship if she wants it. I'll owe her one, an IOU from the once and future king. And so that's what Artie sends, this idea of if you guys could talk to Rayhan, and it's big, you guys know, I mean, she's insanely, like, I don't want to say standoffish, but closed in terms of, like, war. But it's a huge favor because Artie really needs the help.
Well, and so here, now that you've finally brought that up so our party's allowed to know about it, what I, Megan, have been sitting on since Elle gave her spiel at the beginning of the thing, it's like, if we do this, could we then, once Artie's on the throne, be like, and now you have a bunch of armies, can you help us take Syracuse?
That's a army for an army. That's quite literally what it could be.
Quite literal, this is the one-to-one quid pro quo?
That is a political alliance.
I mean, that's how I would pitch it to Queen Rayhan.
That's exactly
Because Syracuse has been an issue for her for a while now.
Oh, they were some of the biggest aggressors in trying to take her down. They were working with Maynard. And I will even say, technically Far, Far Away was too. They didn't send any specific scouts or spies or assassins. But, like, there was reports that even Far, Far Away was like, we might take a piece of the pie if we're all going to grab Ilvanor. So that could be a huge thing to offer the Queen. All right, and I saw Elle nod even though I didn't get the audio, so it sounds like it's something if you want to talk. Now here's what's crazy. We will, because Gabriel is working overtime these past couple days, he is going to open up not a true teleportation, but basically a channel so you guys can talk to the Queen Rayhan. A audio-visual, it's like you're talking to her face, but in real time. One could call it talk time. Or talk real. Anyway, I'm sorry. You guys can talk to the Queen. You will see as you're hearing. Thank you. I was waiting for it.
It took a second.
You all see Queen Rayhan's face appear. Behind her is the throne room. She is looking, not like stressed, but that kind of like concentration when you're in the middle of work. She looks up. Peacekeepers. Hello. Adora, good to see you. I'm glad. Is everything going well?
Good. and Glimmer have returned to you?
Well, yes, I believe they arrived a day or two ago. She's trying to do that mental math. Yes, and they said you were okay, but it's good to see you. And Dax, Valka, Gingy, Minner, friends, I'm so glad that you are alive. What's going on? This is not your usual messaging, because she's noticing the, magic.
Right. The Angel Gabriel's helping some urgent communications between some multiple parties right now.
We have a bit of a proposition. There's a man named Arthur who's trying to take over far, far away. He claims that he has the proper authority to do so, but he needs a little help with some armies. He requested some of your assistance, and in doing would be more than happy to lend you assistance in anything you need.
Because I wonder if you've been told about the state of Syracuse at the moment by Bo and Glimmer.
I think Queen Rayhan doesn't say anything. Her face is a wash of multiple different emotions, thoughts, and ideas as she looks between all five of you, or six including Stoic. I think she even clocks Fen in the background, and somehow that's still not the craziest thing right now. She's got a lot in her brain. You see, eventually she'll talk. I have heard rumors of one claiming to be the reincarnation, resurgence, descendant of Arthur. But that was the High King of Camelot in the Third Age. This was thousands upon thousands of years ago. That is truly a big claim.
Obviously, we all know, as players, that's confirmed. Would the party, know all the lore, though, of, this totally is? Because, we've got Merlin floating around being he's it. We did all
Here's the thing.
How much do we know as a party?
You know as much as Queen Rayhan would.
Okay.
It's such a 50-50. Well, other parties have said this. How do we know Artie's telling the truth, right? Mm-hmm. This could just be someone who's very persuasive.
Of whether we really knew or not.
Right? Could just be an imposter, but he seems to wield Excalibur and holds a lot of sway and has memories and powers that seem to indicate a once and future king. Queen Rayhan just looks really concerned. As you see, she goes, I do not... Ilvanor has been a completely independent city and country for ages. Multiple generations of my family have ruled here, and we have kept it safe through non-intervention. I am terrified of what Syracuse will do, and the prospect of a strong ally does seem wonderful, but this would be war. I would be breaking a non-existent, it was never a traditional oath, but a oath that my city has held throughout the 4th and 5th age. You see, she stops, looks at you all, and we're about to do... We're not going to use the Box of Doom because there's too many of us. But we are going to roll one by one a big persuasion check. Because you have all been throwing in different things, right? It is a group persuasion check because you are some of the few people that could convince her. Possibly the only ones in the entire existence of the world.
With that, I don't know that Dax is actually going to be trying to convince her.
Okay.
He more just kind of wanted to convey the message, because honestly, Dax isn't quite sure what to think about this guy Arthur, and he might join if his group does, but he's not necessarily jumping to go help this guy Arthur.
I agree. So here's the thing. If you feel like you want to convince the queen to help out, we're going to make rolls. Now we're going to quickly go through. So Valka is getting advantage from
I didn't
Cloud
roll
Jumper.
with advantage, but I just rolled a nat 20.
We'll get to that. Adora is going to roll advantage with Swiftwind. Minareth is going to give her last augur point to Gingy. So Gingy, if you want advantage, if you want to persuade. Dax is going to abstain. I like that. I think, yeah, Dax is like, let's present the information, see what happens. Minareth is going to roll. We're going to go through, and one at a time. Valka, a natural 20 is really good. Adora, what did you get?
Haven't rolled yet.
You haven't rolled yet? Go ahead and roll for me.
Oh. Yeah, because I'm not in Shira form anymore.
You're not in Shira. Yeah, this is Adora, and Swiftwind's offering the help action.
Oh, great.
Stoic's going to offer the help action to Minareth. Okay. What'd you get, Adora?
On the assist from Swiftwind.
Is that nat 20?
Yeah.
Judas Priest. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're up to 2 nat 20s. This could still go bad. Here we go. Gingy, you have advantage. But yes, what's your question? Oh. Oh no, it cut out again. Sorry, it's like intermittent.
Before I roll to convince her, could I make a history check to see what I know about the current royal family or about Arthur, if I've ever heard of him, or anything like that, being from far, far away?
Yes, please. Make me a history check, Gingy. Oh, 23. Gingy. There's 2 things you know for certainty. One is the legend of King Arthur. This was probably the best king that ever existed. Fair, wise, kind, powerful, strong, knights at his side. You also know the current royal family. King Charming is the cruelest tyrant the world will ever know, because he has the most prosperous nation. Far, far away is the strongest, most booming economical, social, political landscape in the world, because Charming rules with sheer cruelty. He completely silences all the opposition. He bullies and cajoles his way into every other nation, bowing down and kowtailing to him. Again, he never officially declared war on Ilvanor. He was not sending scouts, but there was reports that Far, Far Away was looking at Ilvanor. Charming is truly terrifying as a man. And a lot of people who aren't in positions of power have always wondered quietly, as to not risk death, if Far, Far Away could become even greater if Charming wasn't the king. I think even Uriel, who the Muffin Man is never one to comment on these things, he lets it pass. Even the Muffin Man notes that Charming is truly evil.
Okay. So now can I still roll to convince Queen Rayhan?
Yes.
And I'm going to include that bit of information in
Yes.
and just let her know Charming is a tyrant. If there's any chance that this Arthur is anything like Arthur of old, that would be really great. Yeah. For that country.
Go ahead with advantage, thanks to all these help actions and augur points. Yeah.
That persuasion still, or
yeah, persuasion. I think it's just that genuine act of persuading. 14 plus 1. I will let you all know. Minareth rolled a 15 plus 5 for synthetic 20. Minareth had advantage from Stoic. All of you go. Gingy, I think on the 14 you notice it's not that a 14's bad, but these were horrifyingly high DCs. Because as you explain Charming's cruelty and Arthur's greatness, you see reflected in Rayhan's eyes is that fear. Because if this goes wrong, she will forever have not only made an enemy of one of the most terrifying men who lives, but also a man who is on their doorstep, and she would have broken that. So you know 14, it's not like you're not persuasive, but you see that you are saying out loud her fears, right? You're kind of like calling out the fears. But Adore and Valka, you both offer up these points of allyship, of strength, of Syracuse marching down Ilvanor's door, and because you are some of her few most trusted friends, having saved her life multiple times, given her counsel, and she given you love, and love affectionately given back, Queen Rayhan stops, looks at you all, far, far away is a powerful kingdom. If far, far away were to fall, we would need to move on Syracuse within 48 hours, as the alliance of our kingdoms would prove immediately hot in gossip and media. You see, she looks at you all. I cannot lead my armies across the Alps. I am... And you see, the camera can't pan. It's a magical teleportation circle, but you know that Queen Rayhan is entering what we would know as the last stages of her first trimester. And she looks at you all with that genuine, just concern and goes, I cannot lead my armies. And my armies would only follow those that they trust and know. If you would lead my armies, not only against far, far away, but also then within the next 2 days to turn south and strike at the heart of Syracuse, we could... You see, she stops. The world could become much safer as the entire continent of Europa would be unified under a common allyship for the first time in 3 ages. I apologize for being selfish in asking you to do this, but would you, the Peacekeepers, ironically lead my armies to war?
I immediately kneel.
Rayhan, there's nothing selfish about that. You're taking care of your people, and we're happy to do it.
You see, she straightens. She's got a little bit of a tear in her eye. See, it's both of admiration and just sheer love, and you sense that from her. This is a friend who looks at you all. Meet my armies along the path. You will find them 2 miles outside of West Run within the next few days. They will march quickly. And again, I unfortunately must ask, my true ask is that you cannot linger in far, far away to sit on laurels if there is victory. We must immediately turn to Syracuse. I believe, and you see she gains a lot of strength as she finishes, that it is time for the kingdom of Ilvanor to to stop sitting idly by and growing fat and lethargic in our weakened state. It is time for Ilvanor to go to war. And as you all feel her words ring even across the expanse of miles between you, the stage is set. Her armies will be here. And we're about to jump into a double combat initiative. 2 wars back to back. But we'll see you all next time for that.
Bring it on. One question. Does Minerith have sending in her prepared spell set?
Has sending.
Because my question was like, before we start marching with any armies, can we do a quick sending to like confirm with Artie, like, hey, you get Ilvanor's armies if you can within those 48 hours after we win, presumably, then like send some aid with us down to Syracuse.
For sure.
Like, get that confirmed so he knows that's the timeline we're working with, and like get that verbal confirmation from him.
It's
that's
fun.
The plan.
We're acting on, again, timeline gets really wibbly wobbly,
timey-wimey stuff.
Because their party has yet to. Fun fact, already sent off the thing, and it was just really bad luck where last Sunday Gus got stuck at an airport, and we were all like, kind of like, what to do's. It's one of those, like, they will get it, but it works out really well. Fun fact, every party has taken Artie up on this offer in their own way. But you can definitely make sure to clarify. And I will say, there is a very obvious yes coming your way, because Gus is... the Dragon Warriors are desperate. They need help. Arthur... Arthur, Kai, Poe, they are powerful, but they can't kill a king with so much power and resources without armies and allies.
I just wanted to make sure we sent that sending, because, like, logistically, they gotta know going in, so it's not that we win and we have to deal with all the restructuring, and suddenly we're asking, and in 2 days give us an army. Like, they gotta know up front so they can plan.
Here we go. In which case, guys, yes, as we finish up our session, I just want to say thank you all so very much for playing. Thank you all for listening, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.